Welcome, everyone. I hope everybody's doing well. Wow. So yeah, it's been an eventful couple of days, hasn't it? Let me see now. Okay, guys, I have a brand new computer, and it's not anything I'm used to, but it is a dope computer. Notice that the intro is not choppy. I don't think that my sound is cutting in and out, so I think everything is a lot better now. But so bear with me because I'm still trying to figure it out. But there's something that I want to share. Oh, sweet. It popped right up. Okay. um, so I want to give a shout out to my fellow creators that are that have been talking about this stuff and shedding light on this dark side of YouTube, and the crime world, specifically the Summer Wells case, which these things should not be happening. These things should not be happening. Now, let me go ahead and let me go ahead and share this because it's just super funny to me. Now, Crude AF went over this earlier, but yeah, nobody cares. Oh, please. Now, mind you guys, please keep in mind that this is Molly Golightly's husband. Okay. Right now, this is Molly Golightly's husband, and he's saying some things that sound awful familiar. Really? What's he doing? Go, Mr. Golightly. She's awful quiet. Oh my God. So you guys aren't getting sound? Hold on. Hold on a second. I see what's going on here. Hold on. Okay, hold on, people. So it's not giving me the option. All right, guys, I got to figure this out because all right, I'm just going to do this the old-fashioned way. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Just bear with me for a moment. So I'm hearing it come through my headphones, but I'm not hearing You guys in chat are saying that you can't hear it. I'm using StreamYard. But for some reason, it's not giving me the option to share sound. So I'm going to have to get to the bottom of that. But luckily, we have another option because all we need is the audio. So that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. All right. Hold on a second.
Marissa, the Supreme Court blocks Biden mandate for a vaccine. How do you feel about that?
Okay, you can hear it now, right? You have to be able to hear it now.
Okay, that's my dog. That's my dog.
It's in my house, and you're my wife, so therefore it's my dog.
As my baby. That's my baby. So, what's your
I'm with Mr. Go Lightly on that.
The Don
It's my house. I feed the damn dog.
Situation.
Well, my dear, what I told you is that if you are wrong, and if this guy had nothing to do with her disappearance, then I would feel really bad. Are you?
I do feel bad, but I'm convinced that he's covering up for his wife.
Why?
Okay.
Why?
See, it's not that I hate Don. It's just that I hate what he's doing.
Okay, I don't really know or appreciate the proof that you have of what he did or what he's covering up for. Look, here's kind of what I think. Is there such thing as perfect crime?
Yeah.
Okay. Right? Like, give me an example of a perfect crime.
This all sounds so
Give me an
familiar,
example
doesn't it?
Of like a perfect crime where like someone got away with
something
it.
from this channel, maybe?
No.
That has
John
been
A.
said
Ramsey.
on this channel for
Okay.
about 7 months.
All right.
Mystery Forever. Black Dahlia case. Right?
Okay.
Show you going. Let's just do John A. Ramsey.
Okay. Do you think that Don Wells is smart enough to concoct the perfect crime? Do you think a guy that does drywall is smart enough to concoct the perfect crime? Because I don't think so.
No, I don't really like that statement too much.
40-year record of crimes.
So he's not good at crime.
Exactly. He keeps getting caught.
Okay.
Right.
So
Wait.
why didn't he get caught this time?
Because they haven't found her body.
That's it?
Yeah. Right now, we deem him guilty circumstantially. So, and I get it.
No, there's not even
It's
circumstantial
a
evidence,
slippery
guys.
slope. But don't you think it's a little odd the way that he's saying we only reached out to YouTubers to help us find Summer?
But
We
that's
physically went
because
down
it goes
there
without
searching.
saying. That's because it goes without saying. That's because it goes without saying that law enforcement is looking for Summer. So why wouldn't a dad, why wouldn't a father of a missing 5-year-old little girl who's desperate to find his child reach out to YouTubers to spread the word that his daughter's missing? Why wouldn't he do that? So why is that in some way, shape, or form suspicious? How is that in any way, shape, or form suspicious on Don Wells? It makes no sense. And she says, we deemed her guilty, like Lynn Carter's saying in the chat. We deemed him guilty. No, you did. There's no we here. And I guess if you're talking about the Scooby Boob gang, then okay, sure. But none of you have anything, any type of evidence. And what I love is This guy, he just indicated that that he's been telling her this. He just indicated, hey, when you asked me this before, remember what I told you. And yet, since this happens, she goes and takes 2 trips to Tennessee, all funded by her listeners, just to harass this man, just to harass him and his wife, Summer's parents. So to me, I find that very interesting because it's funny. Now, there's two distinct differences because me and this dude, obviously, when it comes to common sense, we seem to think the same. But there are 2 distinct differences between him and I. One, he seems to be very financially successful. So he's smart in that sense where I am not. 2, you couldn't pay me double the amount of income that he makes to sleep next to that woman. So what he's doing, I don't know. I can't begin to relate to this dude, but he has clear common sense when it comes to the Summer Wells case. Clear common sense. So you could tell that they've sat there and had these conversations together, and he's going, I told you, I don't really, what's up, Crude? I can't appreciate what you consider to be proof. I just can't do it. It doesn't make sense. And then she says, well, they haven't found the body, and that makes it the perfect crime that Don committed. And he's like, that's it? That's all you consider to be proof that it's the perfect crime committed by this guy? Now, I got to say, I'm not appreciative very much of the way that he explained his rationale for saying that Don isn't smart enough. A guy who does drywall. There are very intelligent people out there who work labor jobs, and it's because they enjoy working labor jobs. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're less intelligent than you are. So to use the fact and kind of shame the guy for his choice of livelihood, I think is kind of messed up. I don't really appreciate that. I can't get behind him on that. Because I mean, to me, I'm the kind of guy, and maybe it's because I'm not a successful guy. Maybe that's why. Maybe it's easy for me to look at things that way because I'm not successful. But or successful by standards of, financially stable, or, I mean, I guess I'm financially stable because I don't have a lot of possessions. I don't live a lifestyle that I can't afford. So, but the fact is someone like me who lives a very simple existence, someone like me who does that, I look at it like I look at it simply like, why not? Sorry. I'm sorry about that, guys. There was some background noise that I was trying to eliminate as best as I can, and it was very distracting to me. I kept losing my train of thought. But As far as yeah, I look at any job that anybody takes on and it's honest, you have my respect. Doesn't matter what you do for a living. I don't care if you clean toilets for a living. If you are the type of person who, I have way more respect for you who's cleaning toilets and earning an honest paycheck so that you don't have to go and get assistance from the government because you feel entitled in some way, shape, or form. You feel better than someone who cleans toilets. You have my respect because A, toilets need to get cleaned. Somebody's got to do that job. And B, I'm not going to respect somebody who feels entitled to money because they think that they're above certain other things. If you have skills and can't find work, well, guess what? In my opinion, it makes you a humble, decent person if you're going to go and take the lowest job possible because you refused to take something that you feel entitled to, because you shouldn't feel entitled to anything. Nobody should feel entitled to anything. In fact, the concept of entitlement to me is absolutely un-American. It's absolutely un-American because every single immigrant, and make no mistake, unless you are a Native American, you descend from immigrants if you're living in this country. And the reason why immigrants came to this country was because they were allowed to take on an honest job. The attitude is the harder I work, my success depends on what I put into it. My success, absolutely 100%, is completely up to me, nobody else. I don't get to blame the world if I don't have the things that I dream of, because that is why America has always been known as the land of opportunity, meaning if you want it, you have the freedom and the ability and the means to go out and get it. Nobody's going to stop you and say, no, you can't do that. No, you can't have it. If you can come up with enough money, then you can have it. If you work hard enough, then you can have it. Right down to a job. Because if you're the best person for that job, you're going to get that job. You be the best person that you can be, and then hope that you're better than the other guy or woman. That's it. So I don't agree with whoever, whatever his name is, the dude married to Molly Golightly, which still is mind blowing to me. I can't wrap my head around. Can you imagine what she sounds like? She has to snore. I know she snores. She has to. Like, you could just tell by the sound of her voice. You ever just look at people and you could just tell that they snore? You just hear their the voice, the way they talk. You know she snores loud as hell. You know she does. Passed out on pills or booze or both or whatever. Like, you know she snores. Like, I like, if I had to guess, a guy with that kind of common sense, when she says I'm going out of town, that dude in his head is throwing a party. Not literally. I mean, he might be, but in his head, he's like, oh, yes. You know that's happening. You know that's happening. Guaranteed. There is no way on this planet that dude is not celebrating the fact that his wife is going out of town. Hey, you want to go harass people and shit and possibly get arrested? Cool. As long as you're not here. Whatever you want to do, honey. As long as you're not here. I have to believe that. Yeah, like, Like, and he definitely, like, it's not like, because I always pictured a real somber, like, soft spined guy that just can't stand up. Like, he's clearly like not that dude. That dude, like, he definitely wears the pants. He's definitely benefiting from this relationship in some way, shape, or form. He doesn't seem miserable at all. He seems perfectly secure in their relationship. He seems perfectly happy. How? I don't know. But that dude is clearly zen, because you would have to be. You would have to be brain dead or just straight zen, dude. Like, if you were married to that person. It's the only thing that I could think of. It's the only thing that I can imagine. That this dude is the most chillest dude and has whatever he has to keep himself happy. And one of those things has to be Molly taking trips. It has to be. Yeah, he probably doesn't spend much time at home. I can't imagine that he would. I can't imagine it. Like, I can't. I like that whole group of people. Like, I can't imagine anybody wanting to live with any of them. You know what I'm saying? All right. Let's watch this interview, guys. Now, hopefully the sound comes through on this. You guys let me know if the sound is good.
Today, we interviewed Dudley Ajan, Donwell's ex-coworker, and he
How's the
has
sound,
some things
guys?
to say.
Most sort of shit, man. I swear to God.
Yeah.
I don't want to get like that. I really don't. I'm so sick of even dealing with it. I'm just trying to get past it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get past this shit because it's fucking. It's not fair.
So Dudley
All right,
John was getting emotional on the phone.
So, God, this computer is so much faster. God, it's like a breath of fresh air. Yeah. So this is Olivia's little interview with the dude who ratted Don out. I haven't even watched this yet, guys. For those of you who have been around for a while and subscribed to this channel for a while, then you guys know that I prefer, if I can, to actually do reactions. I prefer to actually Speaking of which, see, this is why I like to do reactions. You guys just like that pause is everything, bro. Let's get a good look at that. Hey, everybody, this is what she sounds. What she looks like. She sounds like. She looks like she sounds like this. Hey, y'all, I'm over here and I'm getting in the car and I'm gonna do. You know, anybody got any beef jerky? If you got some beef jerky, man, because this is gonna be a long trip. I need to know if you got any beef jerky. Got some beef jerky? Anybody got beef jerky? Give me that beef jerky or I'm gonna strangle you. I'm gonna choke you. Give me that beef jerky.
On the phone with me when he was talking. He's going to meet us at 7. He's ready to get some stuff off his chest. We will be interviewing him face to face. He is yet another victim of Don Wells and Candace Wells' charade.
That Don reached out to me, and this is honest to God's truth.
Oh, I believe it.
While I was
Well, somebody in the chat just said it's amazing that she's 42. Let me tell you something. Hatred and cocaine, really aging agents to have in your life. Like, that stuff puts years on you. Between hatred and cocaine, it really puts years on you. So don't, it happens.
I was with Betty and said, "You're focusing on the wrong people. It's not us. You need to talk to this guy." And I'm like, "What?"
Oh, she's
That's
52.
when
See, that makes more sense.
I personally know you're innocent. So the reason why
I was
And like if Bullhorn Boob Strangler did the 10-year challenge, I bet you it would look exactly the same. There would be like, yeah, and then she's gonna age like 10 years in like a year. That's what's gonna happen. It's gonna be weird. She's some sort of weird, strange.
I was the suspect, I believe TBI and
Exactly.
FBI in
You're
Hawkins County would have taken me because I've met with them every time they ever called. TBI's been in my house, and I knew the first 20 seconds I talked to him, he already lost interest.
Yeah. Why do you think they came to your house?
So 20 seconds, he says that Don lost interest. Now, mind you, the rumor, I don't know if this is fact, but the rumor is that Molly paid people for these interviews. Now, this is funny because this is a very interesting thing here, folks, because this is the only interview that I've ever seen. This is the only one. Supposedly they came down here, they went to Knoxville, they went to Rogersville, they started asking around, and they asked all kinds of people all these questions. They asked all kinds of people all these questions and got all these basically testimonies from people who know the Wells and know Candace Bly. They know the family, and they totally believe that they're guilty of doing something to their daughter, and they have all these reasons why, and blah blah blah. But yet I haven't seen them interviewed at all. I haven't seen one interview. This is the first one that I've seen this entire time. So not even the circumstantial evidence that she's claiming is credible. Not even the circumstantial evidence that she's claiming is circumstantial evidence, because it's not. It doesn't even apply as circumstantial evidence. It's just not evidence. It's nothing. It's nothing. So, yeah, I don't know if it's true or not that she, yeah. And I remember somebody, I'm getting off the subject here, but somebody was like, you might want to change the thumbnail because Molly and Boob went live together today. And I was like, and I was thinking, I didn't respond, but I was thinking like, no, I don't need to change that thumbnail because I played it 10 times. I played audio evidence that Bullhorn Betty threw Molly Golightly under the bus. That's what that meme is. That's exactly what that meme is, because it did happen. I don't care what they're talking about now. I don't care what they're doing now. Whether or not Molly forgives her for it or not, that's up to her. But make no mistake, she totally threw her under the bus. Absolutely threw her under the bus. I played the audio clip and repeated it like 10 times. So, yeah, don't tell me she didn't, because she did. Oh, I know this is under fair use.
For one, it's their job. They have to do that. Mm-hmm. But obviously, Don Wells said that I was the main suspect. I mean, I had the state police at my dad's house.
Okay, so Don Wells supposedly claimed that this dude, Dudley, first name Dud, last name Lee, that this dude Dudley was the main suspect, supposedly. So anything that this guy says, by the way, guys, anything that this guy says could be completely and totally construed out of spite, construed as saying something out of spite. It could absolutely be construed that way. There's no way that that would be a credible witness on a stand. There's just no way.
At 1:30 in the morning in Church Hill, the next day he fired me on a Monday, and Tuesday morning at 1:30 I got a missed call from my dad.
So right there, we're getting proof. Right there, it's perfectly legitimate to think, perfectly logical to think that this guy ratted and doxed Don Wells and his job, doxed Don Wells' job out of spite because Don Wells fired him from a job. Don Wells was his boss at one point and fired him from a job. He's confirming that right now. And if that wasn't relevant, he wouldn't be talking about it. If he wasn't concerned about this and he was only concerned about Summer, he wouldn't be bringing it up and talking about it. His focus would be only on spreading information on Summer Wells. That's it. That's all he would be focused on.
Dad, he's called multiple times. Something's wrong. So I called at 7 and, are you in some kind of trouble, son? They didn't even tell him what they were there for. They just was looking for me. Don Wells knew where I lived. Okay, Weber City, Virginia, and Churchill, Tennessee is two totally different places.
How does it make you feel that he's, we know that he's put your name through the mud. He's called you drug addict, all these things. How does that make you feel?
I mean, when I first heard it, it made me upset.
Riveting questions, by the way.
One, I never
real good, Strangler.
Smoke weed.
Right.
So,
which I don't think is a crime. Is that a crime in Tennessee?
Virginia's legal. So
Okay.
it's legal in Virginia. That's where we're.
She didn't ask
Okay.
you if it was legal in Virginia, dude. And yes, it is illegal.
How do I feel about it?
But
Because
most of us
he
don't
said
care.
basically
He's just
that you're
trying
a meth addict.
you see, the problem is Don Wells, Candace Wells, knows what happened to Summer Wells.
And again, this dude has nothing to base that on. Absolutely nothing to base that on.
So I was in the way. When I seen him, I've never seen Don this way before. He had this look on his face like something really bad happened.
See, this dude is also a clout chaser. He's looking to insert himself in this situation in some way, shape, or form. He's looking to get some sort of, he's looking to have a role in this entire thing, because he didn't say anything just now that would indicate that something happened to Summer and that they know about it. He didn't say why he thought that. He's only speaking out of spite. Everything that he's saying is out of spite. You got to use your eyes, people.
So when you say that date, what date would that be? So she went missing on that 15th. When you say the
That's
Monday,
the 14th. That's the day I got fired that evening. That's the day he said, well, he was talking about having everybody at the job and stuff.
His wife is
Tuesday,
kinda hot.
day Summer come missing, I believe is what I heard. Richard Tucker and all them. But that was Monday, not Tuesday. So to me, I'm like, why is he lying about the date? He was supposed to go work Sunday. He didn't show up. I worked Saturday. And Monday I go in and he's sitting on a tub, like head down.
See, I get no indication that he's lying about dates. I've seen a guy on many different occasions speaking on YouTube channels and making Facebook posts that don't make a lot of sense. Well, he's making eye contact with Strangler because she's the one asking the questions. Olivia's just holding the camera, so he's not looking at the camera. And I'm not going to sit up here and pretend to be a body language expert either. I can't stand when people do that. But this dude, he's saying that Don Wells is lying about dates, but all that does is tell me that he's not a very educated guy, that he's probably just not good with dates. Could be because he has a bad memory, could be drug induced, could be alcohol, could be whatever. But it seems to me that he's just not good with dates. Otherwise, what else? What other reason would you have for not remembering Summer's birthday?
And just destroy it. And I'm like, this ain't good.
So he did. When you say a tub, where's this at? Like a job site?
At the job site.
What job site was that?
That was the one you recorded me at. Doing the drywall Saturday that was that job. That's the job he said, I couldn't tell what you had done that day. I put 5 buckets of mud on. She recorded me. And he got mad because I went over his work and it looked better. So he ended me. And he thought I was a threat to him, and he was going to lose his job because all he knows how to do is finish drywall.
What was the address that you got, the last job that he was working
Now,
on?
right there. Right there. Like, all he knows how to do is drywall. Okay, so show me a house that doesn't have drywall. This is a guy who's always going to have job security as long as people are building houses. So why the little jab? You know what I mean? Why the little jab?
I can tell you exactly where it was, the address. I could have looked
Okay,
at lot numbers.
location.
It was what exit was that? Man, I get confused in the towns, but I know it wasn't Bluff City. It was close. Jonesboro. I believe it was Jonesboro. Yeah,
Okay.
that's what it was, Jonesboro.
So you got fired the day before Summer got reported missing.
Yeah, I got fired the day before the day. He looked all crazy and shit.
Now, I heard Don say that. I heard Don talking about this. And I heard Don say that he suspected him because he fired him the day before. So all he's doing is confirming what Don said. So if I'm Don and I'm trying to rack my brain, trying to figure out who could have taken my daughter, who would have a reason, who would have motive, what would that motive be? That dude's going to be on my list. Common sense dictates that. Now, I'm not saying it's actually something that makes him a suspect. I'm not saying that at all. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I don't blame Don for brainstorming and coming up with that.
He was going to Jamie. He went and seen Jamie down the street from the job site. Okay, he went.
Who's Jamie?
Jamie was the guy that he said he went and talked to. You know, when Richard Tucker and all of them was there. That was. But
Donald Duck, you're right, man. You're right, dude.
See, he's saying that was on Tuesday. That's what I heard, but that was on Monday. That's the day I got fired. They were all there.
Did Don fire you?
See, this dude is not exactly the sharpest tool in the shed, is he? Because all he's doing is confirming everything that Don said. And so this is a testament to how stupid these 4 people are collectively, because they're just hungry for someone who happens to know them to speak negatively about Don. They're just looking for anybody. They're not vetting his story in any way, shape, or form. They're not doing anything to confirm or disconfirm anything he's saying. They are just taking his word, and his word, the person's word that we're talking about here, is extremely spiteful, and he has every reason to be spiteful. And he's not very smart. So if I'm one of them, I'm having a private conversation with him first to make sure that I don't look like a complete and utter asshole idiot like they look right now. Because make no mistake, people, they look really stupid once again.
You or Richard Tucker fired?
Don fired.
What? Like why? Because he's like your at the time supervisor.
Well, we were partners, 50-50. Okay. That's what we were. Jesse put me with him, and because I was working too many hours on the job, he wanted me to go sub because I'd make more money working with Don. He needed some help. Don was doing like maybe one house a month. Okay. And he put me with him, so therefore we jumped up to almost 2 houses a month. You know, we was doing a whole house, and then.
Did you see him and Candace?
With MailChimp, you can design more engaging marketing assets in no
So
time at all,
ridiculous.
thanks to our AI powered.
Interact, or maybe even
She would come to the house. She would come to the job site with
She
Rambo.
would. And how did they interact with her?
Who's her?
The parents, like Don and Candace. How did they interact
They were
with
always
Summer?
fighting half the time.
They fought a lot.
Yeah, I believe that. I believe that. But what does that have to do with Summer?
Yeah, they fought
So
a lot.
Did you ever?
So two people, let's explore that for a second. Two people who can't seem to get along. They've already separated once in the time between now and when Summer had gone missing. They've already separated once. Okay. She's filed restraining orders against Don, right? But Don is covering up for Candace. They're covering up for each other. How does that make any sense at all? They're for 7 months, neither one of them has broken or even remotely thrown the other one under the bus. The only time that happened was when Don misspoke and said he had 7 alibis when he meant to say witnesses, because again, Don is not the most educated guy in the world. It's a perfectly understandable mistake. He simply misspoke and said, I have 7 alibis and Candace ain't got none. Now, when I went over this before, I find it to be very, very natural for couples, especially if they fight a lot, to blame one or the other because they don't have any answers. There's always the whole, that's going to come up at least once whenever you see even like a Lifetime movie where a kid goes missing. Well, why weren't you watching her? Where was she? She's gone because you weren't watching her. So to me, that's nothing even close to being proof in any way, shape, or form. And yes, Julie Porter, even though they are not admissible in court, they are helpful in investigations. And so far, they have not officially been named as suspects of anything. They have not officially been named as suspects of anything. And they both passed polygraph tests. Now, you're going to tell me these two people, they're such criminal masterminds that they can beat a polygraph? Yeah, grandma passed 2. You're going to tell me that these people this dude who doesn't know the difference between an alibi and a witness, these two people and they're covering each other as many times as they've thrown each other under the bus, not as far as what happens to Summer, but just fighting, just general arguing. They have a volatile relationship. There's no secret about that. So why would two people who have a volatile relationship after 7 months still not give law enforcement anything? Can you imagine how many times these people have been questioned? Makes no sense. Makes no sense. This guy can barely even think. Look at his face.
Ever see them abuse Summer?
I seen him, not Summer, no. But I mean, if
he's taking way too long to answer that question, because he's obviously there out of spite. If I saw somebody actually abuse a kid, I would be like, yeah, Yeah, I totally saw that. Not Summer, but one of the boys. Absolutely. He's taking way too long to answer that.
It depends on what you consider abuse.
Depends on what you consider abuse.
But you're telling
Abuse.
Summer go beat up Dudley and walk on the walkboard that's sitting on stairs 10 feet off the ground. You know, she's 5 years old. The walkboard's the same walkboard they had in the picture of her coming from her house down to the ground. That was their steps. So a walkboard's aluminum and they have holes. You know, it's not something a 5-year-old should walk that walkboard. And I'd be like, Don, what if she falls?
So that's the best thing that this guy can come up with as far as an example of how Don and Candace abused Summer, is that they allowed her to walk on a walkboard that's 10 feet off the ground. So that's abuse? Really?
Doctor's job be going down in trouble. You know what I mean? They should have kids there.
So when you said that the grandma and Candace would come to the job
Yeah,
sites,
they come
why
there
would they
a couple
come?
of times.
Why would they go there?
One time they came there to get money. One time he had to go outside because they were fighting. I don't know what they were fighting about. But mostly they fought a lot.
When they came there, what kind of vehicle did they come in?
She drove in a Subaru.
Subaru.
Yeah, I believe it got impounded and took it away.
So they did.
5 months or something.
This guy with his little jabs,
It
dude.
was, so it was taken back for lack of payment.
Yes.
Was that the yellow Subaru?
No. Yellow Subaru.
No.
No, that was yellow.
Now, all this guy is doing is just confirming stuff we already knew about. He's just giving examples that we may not have known about, but all he's doing is just confirming. Hey, what's up, Alex Erickson? He's just confirming with examples what we already knew. We already know that they have trouble with money. We already know that. We already know that they struggle. We already know that they argue. We've heard them argue.
I mean, that was a red Subaru.
Red
There was a Subaru Outback.
Outback?
Huh?
Subaru Outback?
Not an Outback. It was a small one, Cross-Track or something.
Cross-track, okay.
Yeah. It was a nice car. The day he fired me, he was driving it with tools in it. And everybody's making fun of him like, Don, why do you trust your wife's car to work?
Now, with that, that's the day before Summer was reported missing. Did he take that Subaru to work any other prior time? Was that day on the 14th?
That day only. The only day I seen him, the day he fired me on a Monday.
Did he tell you why he was driving that car?
No, he didn't tell me why. I don't remember.
Gotcha.
I just thought it was odd because I've never seen it. I worked with him for 2 months. So somebody said 2 weeks. No, I worked with him for 2 months. For 2 weeks prior to this happening, I was begging Jesse to give me my own house and move me away from Don. The dude's crazy. There's something wrong with him. He's deliberately starting trouble. And, you know, they didn't listen to him. Instead, they set me up for the kill. So,
Did Don ever bring the boys to work with him?
yes.
He has.
Yeah, he brought him to the chocolate factory job. That was the first one he was there, and he was smoking weed with him in the house.
Smoking weed with the
Smoking
boys.
weed with his son. Yeah, he had
His
one
son.
son, the oldest.
The oldest.
Yeah.
Josie?
Josie. Yeah.
Did you see
That's
Josie
his
smoking?
prize job.
Yeah, I saw him smoking weed. He was smoking weed right there. He left the roach in the damn window. I said, Don, I said, they're going to get us in trouble here, dude. Jesse sees that shit. He already didn't like me because I smoked funny tobacco. So to have it on a job site, you know what I mean, it was unprofessional. And then to do it with your kid, 11 years old, come on. I mean, that's not right.
9 o'clock last night,
I wouldn't trust him.
he said, I want you to come to the house. And I'm like, what? He goes, come to the house and just me, you, and Candace, no cameras, no audio, nothing.
I took my wife there to get my money one time. She begged me to never bring her there ever again.
Heard that before.
Linda.
Okay? They're
How
not
did it make you
right.
feel?
They're
It was
for
just
one,
very uncomfortable. This woman just is evil.
How was the
Yeah.
condition of the home?
I never got outside of our vehicle.
Because you were
Never went
scared.
in, yeah. So from just walking to her from the outside, I'm like, where are you taking me? You know, somebody lives here, you know?
When you say you had to go there and get money, what's it like? Does he pay you out of?
He had to pay me, yeah.
When did you get paid?
Richard, see, I didn't understand that. Not Richard. Jesse would direct deposited the money in his account because it was his job. So he would pay me my portion out of it, you know, which was 50-50. So I never actually got to see what the deposit was, but he told me what I'd make off of every job. And he would pay me my cash.
What does any of
He
this
ever
have to
stiffed
do
you?
with Summer?
Yeah, he stiffed me the last time I was supposed to get $2,100. He paid me $300. Okay, left me with $1,800, and then fires me. Well, he fired me before. But
All we're seeing and hearing right now, guys, is motive to hurt this man, to say negative things about him. Therefore, what he's saying lacks credibility. So here they are. Here's the Scooby Boob gang, and which all of them lack credibility, by the way. Every single one of them. Yeah, that's all he sounds like, Gigi Petro. He just sounds butthurt. So all of these people, literally every person sitting at that table, except for the wife, because I don't know her or anything. She's not really saying anything. But the fact that she's sitting there in support of this makes her just as complicit. Now, excuse me. Now, I do think that, yeah, I just don't think that this dude has any credibility whatsoever. None at all. Nobody at this table has any credibility. And guess what? The only thing that they brought up that was relevant to anything as to why we all talk about this, which is Summer and her disappearance, is they asked if he's ever seen Summer be abused by them, by Don or Candace. And this guy couldn't even give a straight answer on that. And the best example that he could give that he considered to be abuse was walking on a little thin little bridge. No one's been cleared, but no one's been officially named suspects either, Kim Holmes.
But, you know, he went a couple of days and I kept calling Jesse. I was like, did Don get paid? Yes. And I ain't getting paid. He said he hasn't paid you. I already deposited the money in his account. I said, all right. Well, I called him back. I said, he didn't give me shit. He said he didn't give you nothing. I wasn't going to tell me he gave me $300. That ain't shit compared to 21. You know? No, he didn't give me shit. He said he paid you $400. Well, he didn't pay me $400. He only paid me $300. And I had a neighbor that recorded
the worst
while
thing
I was getting it, and I was asking.
The worst thing that this guy said that he's seen Don do is smoke pot. Like, type of one, if you smoke weed and you don't mind people knowing about it. Type of one. Hell. Holy shit, the whole chat lit up. I got a chat full of child murderers, people. Apparently, I have a chat full of child murderers, full of people that are absolutely capable of burying a 5-year-old's little body and covering it up. Amazing. Amazing.
Have you heard anything about Summer? And he just wigged out on me. Like I should have never asked that question. Why not? I'm worried about your daughter. You know, just kind of weird.
Well, you just explained that there was bad blood between you guys. You just explained that he considered you to be a suspect, Dudley. So why the hell would he want to talk about that with you? Why the hell would he want to hear his daughter's name coming out of your mouth? Why? Somehow it's suspicious and wrong that this dude is asking questions about his daughter.
You said that, he was acting crazy at the job, or he was, not right the next day, and he was sitting in that tub.
He acted crazy.
That person right there, we have proof that person right there is absolutely and totally mentally capable of reaching over that table and choking that guy. And here she is asking questions and trying to judge a man without having any solid information on him. She is the one person proven to be violent in this entire situation. The one person in all of this that has been proven to be violent.
At the job every day.
He did act crazy.
Like, what? Give examples of what you say crazy.
Okay. My favorite was this. I'm pulling the metal around the window, and actually I'm pulling a butt joint on a wall next to a window, and he walks up to me with a scoop of mud on his knife and flings it right on a brand new window and says, "I bet you can't do that." I said, "When are you going to grow up?" I said, "Now you get to clean that shit."
See, this is
he turns around.
Nothing to do with Summer Wells. Absolutely none of this conversation has anything to do with Summer Wells. These are two people that worked together and didn't like each other, and now he is metaphorically slinging mud. He's talking about Don literally doing it, but he's metaphorically doing it right now. I mean, so but nothing to do with Summer. Absolutely nothing. This guy has no information at all. Or at least we don't know. Because Don considers this guy to be a suspect. And what's funny is, between the two of them, okay, make no mistake, because I'm not saying that I consider this guy to be a suspect. I don't know anything. What I'm saying, though, it would be Penelope Pitstop. Thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate that. What we do know, though, and this is very interesting to me, what we do know is between the two of them, between Dudley and Don, Dudley's the one with motive. Now, I'm not saying that I suspect him of anything, because I don't. I don't have enough information. But not only did Don say this, but this interview right here, and I use that term loosely, it implies some sort of professionalism, which is not taking place at all. Make no mistake that this little interview is confirming the things that Don said. It's confirming that Don had reason to feel like this guy had a reason to hurt him in some way, shape, or form. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong in chat, people. Correct me if I'm wrong. Mary Cherry, thank you so much for the super sticker. I mean, think about it. With all of the facts that we have on this case, which aren't very many, between him and Don, this dude is the only one with an actual motive.
After I finish pulling the butt, takes a picture of it, sends it to Jesse and says, "Look what Dudley did. He's fighting with me. Just setting me up for a kill." And Jesse didn't call me. He's just
I mean, if that's true, that's pretty childish of Don to do that. It's funny, but it's super childish.
Don deal with it.
So
Remind me who Jesse is again.
Tucker.
Oh, Jesse Tucker. Okay.
Yeah, Jesse's Richardson.
Richardson.
He's the one that's letting the business go to shit. He'd rather have child pedophiles working for him in these neighborhoods.
Who would that be?
And meth head Don.
Get MailChimp's
Okay, so
advanced
he
yet
just
easy to
called
use tools
Don
and start leading more customers down
the
the path
P
to
word.
purchase. You're more than a small business, and MailChimp's got more intelligent.
Don Wells.
and then
If I would have
So I can't wait to find out what the proof is that Don has actually committed SA, because I still haven't seen any proof of that. Patty Whack, thank you so much for the super sticker.
I would have known I was working with a child pedophilist, I don't believe he would have made it.
When you call Don Wells a pedophile, why? Why is
Well,
he?
he's he molested his sisters. Okay, he's I was told that
There it is. I was told. Pure hearsay, and pure motive to throw mud at this guy.
he was molested Summer, and possibly Candace got pissed off and killed her because she was jealous. So
This guy is a piece of shit. This guy is a piece of shit. Because if he had any integrity at all whatsoever, if he had any integrity at all, he would never repeat that without proof. So what this guy's claiming is that Candace's motive was jealousy because she had Summer had an inappropriate relationship with her father, Don. That's what these people are trying to spin the narrative of, that's the motive, which is asinine.
So, there's stories, that
Stories.
really throw red flags up.
We've heard the same thing.
And I've had Candace run out the door telling me, did I ever tell you I hate fucking kids? I looked at Don and said, is she talking to me? And he
Candace
said,
said that?
yeah, Candace said that. And I said, well, she's got 4. She should have kept her legs closed. But Don, on the other hand, he never got the good book about growing up. He's definitely a childlike 14-year-old stuck in a 53-year-old body, whatever he is. Because he's got games. He throw mud on the floors. He wrote all this shit on walls that I got fired for. And he admitted about a week ago on there that he wrote down everything the meth head would do.
Yeah.
Thank you, Crime Story.
So he admitted that he wrote it on the walls, and he said I did.
We heard that.
So
at some
how did
point,
that
TBI or Hopkins County Sheriff?
how did that go from in one sitting, in one long statement, right? How did it go from having an inappropriate relationship with Summer and Candace unaliving Summer for it? How did it go from that in the same statement to he blamed me for writing on walls? He wrote on walls and blamed me for it. That right there should tell you everything you need to know about this guy and his credibility. That right there should tell you everything that you need to know.
Sheriff, I didn't hear which, asked you where Don Wells buried Summer's body. Is that true?
Yeah, to a point. It wasn't them that asked me that.
Who was
Did you
it?
say the FBI, TBI? Or, no, it's
So,
not
yeah,
them.
law enforcement. Let me just say law enforcement.
He's definitely a childlike 14-year-old stuck in a 53-year-old body, whatever he is. Because he's got games. He throw mud on the floors. He wrote all this shit on walls that I got fired for. And he admitted.
Sorry,
about a
I
week
reminded
ago
it a
on there
little
that
too
he
far,
wrote down
but
everything the meth head would do.
I want to
Yeah,
hear this question
heard that.
again.
So he admitted that he wrote it on the walls, and he said I did.
We heard that at some point TBI or Hawkins County Sheriff, I didn't hear which, asked you where Don Wells buried Summer's body. Is that true?
You know, yeah, to a point. It wasn't them that asked me that.
Who was
Did you
it?
say the FBI, TBI? Or, no, it was
So,
not
yeah,
them.
law enforcement. Let me
No.
just say law enforcement.
No, it was a guy named Chris.
Chris McDonough.
You know what?
Unless it wasn't Chris McDonough. I don't know.
think, I don't know. I think it was a phone call. Somebody on the phone.
How does he not know? Okay, people. Because that's a hell of a question, right? That's a hell of a question. Jamsey, welcome. How do you not know who asked you that question or the circumstances in which that question was asked? Misty Forrest, I agree. I think he's absolutely lying.
Called me. Was it not on the phone, or was that when we went over there to Rock Springs and with Chris and his wife? Do you remember that?
I can't remember if it was on the phone or if it was in person.
I want to say it was when I talked to Chris over there at Rock Springs. We went over there to look and see about the concrete footage. Because they're the ones that said, do you think she possibly could have been buried in a house or something? I said, you know what? I said, they had a lot of holes around that last job we did. I said that they had to put concrete footers in. I said, the holes were there, but the concrete wasn't. That is a house on top.
And what location was that at?
So basically what this guy is doing,
I'm sorry.
Edinburgh, Rock Springs.
he's just sitting around having dinner with these idiots and he's just speculating along with them. He actually has no information. The only information this guy actually has is his experience in working with Don Wells, which absolutely has nothing to do with Summer. Absolutely nothing.
Springs, exit 6 on Edinburgh.
Do you know the address or road name?
I just know how to get there. It's literally, the Edinburgh is the subdivision with the school that's built on it. But if you were to drive around, it starts with C, Common or something street.
Sapper
turn
K,
right on
welcome.
in, go down all the way to the end, take a left, and you'll see the brand new houses. The very house in the corner that's on the right side of the.
What's up, Blood Money Benny Keys? So yeah, like these people are just sitting around just speculating with this guy. He has no information, and not even the information that he has is credible in the slightest bit. His wife is kind of hot though.
Out of the corner, that's the last one me and Don did together. And all them houses to the left of that, to the right of that house, wasn't even there.
Your life, it had turned your life upside down.
Excellent statement
This
right
is
there.
a scenario, and you're
Excellent statement right there. I feel like whenever she's having a conversation with her husband, that's the look on her face, like every time, like, Jesus, dude. So A in the chat says, if Don and Candace are innocent, these people are giving the actual perp a free ride. Yeah. Now, but more importantly, though, if Don and Candace are not innocent, okay? If Don and Candace are not innocent, right? Don and or Candace, I should say. If they are not innocent, then this dude is going to be a witness for the prosecution. And this dude is not a credible witness. If I'm the defense, I'm tearing this guy's credibility to shreds on the stand. Don, aka Boots, welcome. Thank you.
How do you feel about
I want to get the Crunchyroll.
I just think it's like a nightmare. I constantly people asking me, well, I saw this video, saw that video on YouTube, this and that, and it's just becomes too much at times.
Yeah. How's this affected your son?
Well, we try not to talk a whole lot, with him. But he'll say like on my phone or whatever. He's like, "Mom, why do you want to listen to that?" Because I want to follow what this man's doing. What he's got to say about Ray and this and that, and
I saw you defending Dudley on. That's how I reached out to you.
If you had an opportunity to tell the world anything about this, if you had something to tell the world about Don or Candace Wells,
The world doesn't care.
what would it be? I'm going to ask Dudley first, and then I'm going to go to you.
The world doesn't care.
I think that the world really needs to look a little deeper into their eyes, because if they really listen to them, they don't care about them.
Okay, let me answer this idiotic question.
Anything.
I love when ignorant people enter my chat. Let me answer that question. So Annette McNeil says, why aren't Don and Candace out looking for Summer? If you followed this case from the beginning, like I have, and covered it from the beginning, you would have heard on this channel and many others, by the way, many others, that law enforcement, all the law enforcement agencies that are charged with the responsibility of finding Summer have said that they don't want help from them to do so, other than cooperation, which is what they've done. And law enforcement has confirmed that they've cooperated. But they've said they don't want any outside help. They have stated this. Meanwhile, the boob crew here are absolutely interfering with an investigation for the reasons that I just explained. Because if this guy ends up on the stand as a witness, he's going to get torn to shreds. For all of the reasons that I've stated now, and any reason that an attorney who's much more educated than I am will be able to do so. So I find that I just, it blows my mind when people ask ignorant questions like this. And I say ignorant in the truest sense of the word, because you ignored facts on this case. You wouldn't have to ask that question if you actually looked into the facts on this case. Law enforcement has clearly said that they do not want outside help in searching for Summer in order to ensure the best possible type of investigation. Yeah, it's going to be snowy and icy and rainy on Sunday here. It's going to suck.
To make it better for their kids. So as far as, everybody knows the truth. They know the truth. They're just trying to keep leads off them. It's I don't know.
If they're trying to keep leads off of them, genius. If they're trying to keep leads off of them, why have they been absolutely cooperative with law enforcement this entire time? Why were they willing to take polygraph tests and then pass them? Why? Why have they agreed to talk to almost every YouTuber, including the ones that are trying to paint them out to be guilty of something? Why have they been open and willing to talk to every single person willing to ask them questions if they're trying to keep all the leads off of them? Because anyone knows, if you committed a crime like this, the best thing that you can do is shut the fuck up.
I don't know what else to say. He's running thousands of people around and wasting their time, their valuable time that they're trying to help them find Summer, and they don't give a shit about Summer. Lying, and he's, eventually just going to cut his own throat like he's already done.
So Yeah, what we're watching right now is just 5-6 people sitting around and shit talking. That's that's all we're watching right now, people. There's no making this more complicated or complex than it actually is. It's very simple. You're looking at 6 people sitting around drinking, eating, and talking shit. Trash talking people. Trash talking the parents of a missing child. Saying things that are completely untrue. And they're this clueless because here's Olivia and she's making this out to be some sort of documentary type thing. When Olivia fails to realize that this is the worst fucking content that I've ever seen as far as a crime case goes. This is exactly what not to do as a YouTuber. This is exactly what not to do. This is the kind of thing that makes all YouTubers who actually care about missing kids look bad.
Done.
Yeah, he's
Multiple times. I mean, they played pranks on their sister that he molested at 12, and he said he didn't know what that was. Well, please. I'm pretty sure you all know he knows what that was. But every man out there knows what that was. So I think if they keep feeding into his bullshit, he's just using it as a trophy. Candace, when he drove past me, or when I drove past him, he gave me a peace sign. And of course, I flipped him off. But I told my buddy at work about it, and he's already.
So, okay. So just to play devil's advocate here. So you're now bragging that he gave you a peace sign, literally expressing peace, right? Like a good Christian would do. And your response to him was to flip him off. It was to give him the finger. So, and you're proud of this. Okay.
Cat, and they all know about it. He said, maybe that wasn't a peace sign, Dudley. He said maybe that was a sign of victory. World War
what?
I or II. He said they threw that up there for a sign of victory. I said, well, what would he be victory of? That he's gotten what he wanted. He's winning. So, but his time will come out. Karma's a bitch. She don't sleep. I don't know. That's about what I can think.
Yeah, I agree too. I mean,
like you don't have any proof of anything.
With the CPS,
you don't have any proof of anything, and then and so people always go and they revert to karma's a bitch. Karma's a bitch. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's a cliche that just bothers me because I do believe that the universe works in a certain way and what goes around comes around. I hate cliches. I say them anyway. Fried green tomatoes. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. So yeah. So that's what they always say. Karma's a bitch. I mean, no. It's not karma. It's common sense and it's logic. Logic dictates that law enforcement, there are multiple law enforcement agencies, including the FBI, a federal law enforcement agency that is on this case, that are finding Summer. And you guys, these boobs on the ground idiots, what they're doing right now is having a shit talk party on their subscribers' dime.
yes, already involved prior to Summer being missing. If there was an issue in the home that bad, those kids should have been took out then. And maybe Summer would still be around, and everybody's time wouldn't have been wasted. And
I love when this happens, people. I love when this happens Okay, Ann Boyle. Glare, if Don treated you the way he did to Dudley, you might be singing a different tune on this subject. Well, the thing is, what you're missing, the point that you're missing, which everybody else in chat seems to get, by the way, Ann Boyle, the point that you seem to be missing is none of what he's saying is credible. We don't even know if it's true, because we've already seen this guy act with a lack of integrity, A, and B, we've already caught him on lies. So once you catch somebody on lies, well, then they don't really have any more credibility, do they?
Summer ever go to any of the job sites?
Yes.
She has.
You already
At
asked
least
him
three
that.
that I know of.
What would like
Jonesboro, Rock Springs.
how low was Summer?
Knowing where you came from, it gives you a sense of this is who I am. Oh my.
5, I think.
5. So recently, within the last 6 months or
In June.
in June. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah.
I mean, I've seen her. You know what I mean? Hell, when they got in that little car wreck, they were doing a video chat.
Car wreck?
Yeah. At the dollar store, I think it was, when Grambo had to get hospitalized.
What month was that?
So this guy's also admitting that he has seen Summer on the job site. He's also admitted that he knows where they live. He's also admitted that he's bitter about the fact that Don fired him the day before Summer went missing. Again, people, I'm not saying any of this stuff actually makes him a suspect, but I am saying that it gives some credibility to Don's suspicions. That's it. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it makes him a suspect. I'm saying it actually gives some credibility to Don's suspicions. It means that his suspicions are understandable. That's as far as I'll take my opinion on that. But it means that his suspicions are understandable, and this guy is confirming it.
Huh?
What month was that?
June.
June of last year.
Yeah, it was right before this happened.
And you said it happened at Dollar General?
I believe it was a dollar store. Yeah, she was backing up and somebody hit her, and I mean, put a little bitty bump, but Grambo had to get ambulance to the hospital. So she was trying to get some pain pills for us. Don was making a big joke about it, but I talked to Summer right there, and Don gave her the phone and said, "Here, talk to Dudley." And I asked her what happened. She said, "Oh, we got in a car wreck. They hit Grandma."
What kind of
But
drug?
Summer wasn't hurt.
No.
No bruises.
They went and got.
And somebody just asked in chat if this dude would be willing to take a lie detector test. If you wonder if this dude would be willing to take a lie detector test. Now, I've said this on this channel many times, guilty or innocent, I'm never agreeing to a polygraph test. That's about the stupidest thing you can do, because they're not admissible in court. So, I mean, yeah, like I'm not talking without a lawyer. Guilty or innocent, I'm not talking without a lawyer. B, I'm not agreeing to a polygraph test. That's just silly. But the fact is, to me, that proves that Don and Candace were of the mindset, whatever you need to help find my daughter. For you to be out there looking and not in our house looking because we don't know what happened to her. And they did search the property and searched it thoroughly multiple times. Found nothing. Now, this isn't, guys, we're not talking about super criminal geniuses here. We're not. As Molly Golightly's own husband pointed out, which I've said many times, this dude has a record going a mile long. Sure, we know that, but they're stupid crimes. They're stupid, silly crimes, and he got caught for every single one of them. That's proof that he got caught. It's proof that he's not a mastermind criminal. That's all it proves. Right? So there's so far nothing to indicate to me that this dude has had. There's just nothing to indicate to me that there's anything that makes Don or Candace suspect. In fact, there's more evidence to the contrary. If you want to talk circumstantial evidence, there's more circumstantial evidence to the contrary.
Got checked supposedly.
When Don, going back to the job site, when
See,
Summer was at the
everything this guy says is supposedly, I heard, I was told.
job sites, was he just running around the house or
Yeah,
unattended?
Yeah, 90 going west. Yep. Didn't have no control over her. I mean, she was running all over the walkboards. That's going across ladders in a stairwell. That's, I don't know, you've seen it, babe.
Mhm.
That one where I was working at, that was what, 15 feet off the ground? You know, I mean, that's crazy.
What kind of drugs do you know that Don Wells was on, whether you physically seen him or you've discussed with
We know that you use cocaine. We know that.
him or you
I mean, he talked about meth every day.
every day?
Every day he talked about meth. And I didn't understand why.
What does talking about meth
But
mean?
he was trying to put me in a category. Like he tried the first couple of weeks.
See, this is an example of biased idiots. Because I'm going to be very intrigued by that response. He talked about meth every day, supposedly, right? But yet none of the other four bothered to ask, well, okay, what do you mean he talked about meth every day? What did he say? What did he say? I'd want to know what he said. Because talking about meth, I mean, all that says to me, I mean, that could absolutely mean that all he talked about was how meth is a problem where they live and that he's sick of all the meth heads. That it could mean that. I'm not saying it did. I'm saying it could. But at no point, not one of them bothers to ask, well, what do you mean? What did he say? What exactly did he say about meth?
Trying to say that I was on meth, but then he tells me, he says, no, you're not on meth. He said, you just like I was when I was young growing up doing this stuff. He said, you just a hard worker.
Okay. So right there, he basically credits Don again because he says, no, after saying that you're on meth, now that I know you, you're just like me, meaning I don't do meth, but you're just like me when I was younger, just a hard worker. So he's also crediting Don to giving him to being empathetic towards him. He's crediting Don to being kind to him.
You know?
Do you think? Go ahead.
But did you see him do meth?
I didn't see him do meth, but I saw something that looked like that substance in his car. So
Do you think he was trying to see if you were
How do you know
a
what it
user
looks
so
like?
he could use
Yes, yes. He
So
kept
he could
telling
find
me
out
he
whether
was
he could
trying
use
to
it at
get
a
me
job.
involved in his activity.
See, again,
So when I wouldn't, he was
again, why didn't anyone ask this question? Okay, you saw what it looked like in his car. What exactly did you see? Where was it? Was it in a baggie? Was it in his ashtray? Was it sitting on his seat? I mean, these people are trying to get answers, right? But they're not trying to get answers. They're trying to create a narrative, and they want answers from him that help feed that narrative. That's all they're doing. Right. Donut icing, rock salt, could be anything.
he would leave, take off for 15 minutes, come back, and he's boom, 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 boom. But still couldn't do as good of a job and keep up with it. but that's what he had to do because I was just doing my job. We were subcontractors. We didn't work by the hour.
Did he come to work drunk, or did he ever drink on the job?
What does that have
he
to do with
drinks full
Summer?
milk on the job. That could probably get you drunk. I've never seen him actually
Wait,
drink.
what?
Because I was just doing my job. We were subcontractors. We didn't work by the hour.
Did he
So why is she asking if he ever drank on the job? How is that relevant to Summer?
come to work drunk, or did he ever drink on the job?
Yeah, he drinks full milk on the job. That could probably get you drunk.
What? That's okay. If I had to come up with 1,000 possible answers to that question, that would not be one of them. So he's saying his answer to whether or not Don, who we know has alcohol issues, right? He can't even confirm that Don drank on the job. His response is Don drank spoiled milk, and that might get you drunk. That's his response? Is that his response? Really? Are you kidding me right now?
I've never seen him actually drink. I've never seen him drink, period.
Oh, you never seen him drink?
I've never
And they're so proud of this content. They're so proud of this. This is somehow a breakthrough in their little investigation, supposedly, right?
never seen an empty container at his house. And his wife, she would drink them malt liquor cans,
right?
But, you know, I've never seen him drink at all. But he was fucked up all the time. So,
I've never seen him drink at all, but he was fucked up all the time. How do you know he was fucked up? How do you know? How do you know? I mean, you haven't seen him actually consume anything that gets you fucked up. How do you know he's not just a guy who is kind of slow? How do you know? Yeah, a defense attorney, if Don ended up charged, this guy's testimony could set Don free. If Don turned out to be guilty, this guy's testimony could set Don free. This is why crama idiots should not be doing crime. And I've been saying this and saying this and saying this for months.
So he was just on meth. You know, that's what I believe.
Yeah.
You know, because he had his eyes, it was so little pupils, and you could just tell he was so glossy. I know it wasn't from smoking a joint.
Okay, so your pupils actually become dilated. So your pupils actually get large, not small. So again, no credibility to anything this guy's saying at all.
When in the damn Churchill that he made me go to that Sunday and wasted my damn time. He went there and done the job in the middle of the night. That one right there, he's took the guy's battery, big 20-volt Bridget battery, because he had a radio, and he stuck it in his radio.
So Don went to church during the day so Don actually worked these jobs at night so he could get the job done and so he could attend church, according to him. Yeah, Don sounds like a real bad dude, man. That's horrible.
So yeah, I seen him do that over there. I was like, Don, I said, that ain't your shit, man. He was like, I'm just borrowing it. I bet he never brought it back.
Anything else you've seen him take off job sites, like tools or people's
Again, nothing to do with Summer.
Construction equipment, take it home, or
I see him take a lot of.
Please stay tuned for the next episode.
Oh, I can't wait. I
Hi
can't
everyone,
wait.
we are the Story Girls.
This is how Fiverr helped.
All right. Let's see if we can find some more trash here. Let's see what we can do here. Yeah. Yeah, this Olivia person, y'all are giving her too much credit, man. Like because she has a nice camera and she knows how to edit. You know what I mean? She's a creator. I mean, all that she's doing is helping create bullshit. I don't think I've ever gone over this. Have I? Let's do this. I think I have, but not all of this.
Because your back was out. How in the world are you able to be walking around your property when you can't even go to church? What did you do with Summer, Don? Don Wills, what did you do with Summer?
Now,
Where
actually,
is Summer?
before I get into this, okay, let me go over the Ziggy situation. Now, I did not see her right, crude AF, exactly, dude. I did not see her content. I did not see these so-called bones that she showed. I heard John a scandal talking earlier today when he was live saying that Tiffany Marie even had enough common sense to show the bones but blur them out. From what I understand, I don't know, but from what I understand, these bones were animal bones, deer bones. And yeah, no, I don't buy that Ziggy's all of a sudden going to come here and show up to Tennessee, and then she's going to discover the remains of Summer Wells when there are numerous law that are looking for Summer actively. So, but if they were her bones, this is again why drama channels have no business covering crime, because they don't have any idea and they don't have any regard or understanding of how investigations work and why investigations and certain things that you do during investigations are important. Because we have to understand, people, that what law enforcement is doing is investigating, but ultimately building a case. An arrest is merely prelude. And this is what none of them seem to understand. None of them seem to understand this, that an arrest is prelude to a trial, a potential trial. Now that what they want to do is save the taxpayer money. They want to save time and they want to save the taxpayer money. So what they're going to try to do is get a guilty plea from that suspect. But they're preparing for the possibility that it will go to trial. And if it goes to trial, they would be prepared enough and have enough evidence to convict them in a court of law. So people don't get arrested just to get arrested. Cops don't arrest people just to put them in handcuffs and throw them in jail. They arrest you to keep you in jail. They arrest you with every intention of keeping you in jail. That's the idea. So you're not going to sit here and you know, when you go out of your way and you bring your kid to what could be a potential crime scene, which you're obviously contaminating. Now, I don't know how she handled it. I didn't see the content. I don't know. But the way that I'm hearing it through every single YouTuber that's talking about it is that she walked all over the crime scene, the potential crime scene. and took pictures of what she thought to be the remains of a 5-year-old little girl and posted it on her YouTube channel and monetized it. Now, from what I understand, she hasn't even taken it down yet. I have no interest in watching that. But from what I understand, she hasn't even taken it down yet. And it's still monetized. But she still went on and cried and apologized. But see, an apology, in my personal opinion, means nothing. Because wait a second. Because, I mean, if I apologize for something, which I've done, but if I apologize for something genuinely, I'm going to feel bad about getting any money for it. It's not for content. Because it takes away from the credibility of my apology, does it not? That's funny. Okay, and kudos for being a single mom. You know what I mean? But if you don't have anybody to watch your kid for a trip like that, don't take the trip. There's other ways that you can create content and make your money. I'm not faulting her for wanting to make money. I'm faulting her trying to come off like she's being genuine when she's clearly not. That's what I'm saying. And then to double down and argue about it, she's talked about people being sensitive. See, I just don't. Right. I and what's funny is I don't have anything personal against Ziggy at all. I know a lot of people don't like her. She was actually, I went on her panel one night, and I basically shut down her entire panel because they were all with the same stupid, idiotic logic that the boob gang carries around and spreads around. She was actually kind to me. She was actually kind, and she was actually receptive to the things that I was saying. But I was clearly the only one who had actually done any research on this case on that panel. I was clearly the only one. I mean, and her chat was going insane. And her chat was just full of people who had not educated themselves on this case. They were getting all of their information from these idiots that were interviewing Dudley and their channels. And that is why it's dangerous. Because all of those people, when there's 1,000 people in that chat, those are 1,000 people that are spreading misinformation. That's why it's dangerous. And the funny part is, I love how these assholes keep saying that they're working side by side with law enforcement. We've already heard statements from the TBI on Twitter saying that that's not true. We've already heard statements from Ronnie Lawson, Sheriff Ronnie Lawson of the Hawkins County Sheriff's Department, say that that's not true. And we've already heard, if you followed this case from the beginning, people, you've already heard Sheriff Ronnie Lawson standing in front of in a press conference in front of a bunch of reporters, right? In front of a whole mess of reporters, say to not do exactly what these assholes are doing. He warned. He warned. He basically pleaded with everyone to not do it. So I just got reminded of something. So I heard a rumor, and I don't know if it's true or not. Cherry sent me a really funny Let me see something here. Oh no. Let me see something here, folks. Oh no, not that. Hold on. Okay. Cherry sent me this. I thought it was pretty funny. Oh my goodness, dude. All of you people with your meme games, keep them coming. I love the meme game. Keep them coming. So let me look into this real quick. Sorry, I got distracted because that showed up. Oh, she just keeps sending them to me. Oh my God. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Let's show another one real quick. Hold on. You guys are going to like this one. Oh, wait. No, not that. Get out of here. Sorry, I'm still learning this computer. How to be a poop detective. MGL, JLR, and BHB. Okay. All right. So let me look up this. What is the name of this? WKRN. All right, so Nashville news. I'm not seeing anything just yet, but I'm looking. I heard a rumor that Don was supposed to talk to these people. But I'm not seeing anything on that yet. Yeah, all I'm seeing is the 2 days ago, YouTubers allegedly filmed child inside Wells Church. Yeah. So let me see more state headlines. Yeah. Hold on. Oops.
Parents of Summer Wells as they worked on a home in the Edenburg Park community of Kingsport.
Oh, it's scary.
Okay, well, yeah, we already saw this, but I'll play it again.
I mean, Candace was in tears and she was shaking and all that. She's scared.
The group heard yelling profanities at the parents and loudly claiming the parents had something to do with Summer's disappearance.
Let the police do their job. I mean, I feel that they're just making a mockery out of everything for their YouTube channel and personal gain. I don't.
Now, that's interesting. Don is saying, he's saying, let the police do their job. Would somebody who's guilty of something Would that be the first thing that he says? I mean, I'm not seeing an ingenuine guy. Why is this not playing now? Hold on. All right, I lost that. Sorry. Yeah, and if you guys aren't subscribed, if anybody here is not subscribed to Crude AF, please make sure and subscribe to his Clips channel. The Clips channel is great. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can find something to play here because I like to blow his stuff up. Let me see. Subscriptions. And I missed Kraken Case's live earlier. Yeah, this format for this is way different than what I'm used to. Oh, I got an idea. Let's watch. All right.
With YouTube Premium, you can watch as many videos as you want without pausing for ads. Get it.
All right, so let's watch this shit show for a while.
Embarrassing.
Oh, big shocker there. Looking at food.
Oh, so here we go.
Yeah, because this is really relevant to Summer Wells, right? This is really relevant to Summer Wells investigations, right?
Let's see what else I got. This is what?
This is round 2.
Round 2.
So, unfortunately, when you're buying perishable items, it's processed food.
Yeah.
But we did try and get, preserved fruits. Got cat food, dog food.
What does this have to do with Summer?
I was thinking about getting kitty litter, but we can't fit it.
Yeah.
And we can't fit paper towels.
Yeah.
We'd have to make several trips, but we did get, lots
So
of gravies
basically
and-
what they're doing right now is just stroking themselves.
And it's
Right?
being donated by?
Basically all they're doing is stroking themselves.
3 baskets.
Molly's lunch cart.
Oh, we got to still.
They're just stroking themselves. They're sitting here, and this is what they consider to be investigating. So this is them in Tennessee, and this is where and what they're doing is just a big fuck you to their listeners and to their subscribers, but they're donors. So this is what they're showing where the money went. They got a shopping cart full of junk food. Maybe they're planning on donating. Maybe they're just, blowing themselves up trying to say that they're going to donate it to the Wells family or something to that effect. Maybe, I don't know, but that's still, it does not help the investigation. And the Wells family don't want anything from them. They don't want anything from them.
Still split them apart, split them between 2 missionaries. Okay. And we did this because we felt there was a need in this community.
That's nice.
Okay.
And thank you for being so sweet to us when we were told that we were going to be shot.
Yeah,
killed,
and these people have been very good people.
Very nice people.
Awesome.
Very nice.
So-
Everywhere we go. Nice.
How are you feeling about this, Mr.
It
JLR?
makes me feel good. It makes me feel like we can go out there and make a difference and use our resources and our platforms to inspire others to do the same. There's a missing girl. Summer Wells is missing, but while we're here, not only are we searching for Summer Wells, but we're giving back to the community. We want to help the community to Beach Creek. We noticed while searching.
You haven't searched for Summer Wells. You have done nothing. You've done absolutely nothing. What you're doing right now is trying to is trying to perform damage control. That's all this is, because they've gotten so much backlash. They've gotten so much backlash for the harassment, the trespassing, the interference with an investigation to find a little girl. They've done so much backlash, because look at the title. WJHL News, at WJHL News. What they're doing here is trying to get the attention of somebody in that news station, right? They're trying to get somebody's attention in that news station to show that they're not these horrible people that they were painted out to be during that interview with Don. Because the truth is they are. Because we've gone over the footage over and over and over again of what they did. They showed up to the guy's job. They ruined the workday for every single person there and cost Don his job, simply so they could just have a peaceful workday.
Searching for summer wells that a lot of people are struggling in the beach area. So we just want to pour our hearts out and do what we feel that we can do to help and make a difference.
We can help a lot of people. There's a lot of stuff, and it's going to help
and feed a lot of bellies.
animals.
Feed a lot of bellies and help the animals.
Yep.
Both cat food and dog food. There you go. Good job, guys. Good job, guys. Good job.
So now,
Now, did you guys see my hair?
did you see your hair? Did we see your hair? Yeah, we saw your fucking hair. So an interesting thing is, now I don't know how much truth there is to it. I honestly don't. I don't know how much truth there is to it, but apparently the dogs got sick after they fed the dogs. But a lot of people had donated dog food, but they don't know. I mean, they don't know. They didn't ask for that. They just went and fed the dogs. Like, I mean, but I don't know if they got the dog sick or not. I'm not going to sit here and imply that that's what happened, but
My hair was drenched. We were drenched. Did you
Yeah,
see
we
it?
were. And why? And why were we drenched? So let me just explain this to people that don't know. We were standing out in the pouring rain in 30-degree weather, hunting in outbuildings, in storage sheds, in dilapidated places, under burnt houses to see if Summer was there. We were out in fields where they had big bales of hay where she could have been tucked between them. We were out there searching anywhere for Summer Wells. So this
Is that
illusion
true?
that we are just out there, trying to get posing and stuff like that is false.
Oh, no. I know what they're saying isn't true. What I'm asking, this comment that I just highlighted, she is sending letters to contractors. Don't hire Don. He is a felon. I mean, trying to keep the guy from being able to earn a living. I mean, that's just low, man. That's just low. And one thing that Molly Golightly's husband said that I don't agree with. Now, he knows his wife better than anybody. I mean, it's his wife, right? But I've seen nothing that would indicate to me that the statement that he said was true, that if it turns out that Dawn is innocent, she's going to feel really bad about everything that she's done. She's not going to feel really bad. She's not going to. Because if she actually had any sense of empathy whatsoever, she actually had any empathy, she would listen to her conscience, because I don't think she has a conscience. She would listen to her conscience telling her, hey, this guy might be innocent. This isn't the way to go. And these people that I'm teamed up with are bad people. There's proof that they're bad people. But there's proof that she's a bad person. Thanks, Aaron Elliott. Welcome. There's proof. So I'm not seeing, I don't think at any point what she's going to do is she's going to claim to have apologized, but instead make a whole bunch of excuses for her behavior. That's all she's going to do. So I don't believe her husband when he says you're going to feel really bad about it. I don't think she's going to feel bad at all. What's up, Leo? What's up, buddy? I don't think that she's going to feel bad in the slightest bit. She's not showing any indication that she would.
False. We were working hard. When we go into the Beach Creek community, we notice that there is it's a poor community. It's people are struggling. They got families to feed, and they have a they got this rapid COVID thing. People aren't coming into the churches like they were for food, and we just saw a need for people to get
Leo,
groceries and food. Not just that, like we bought female products. These are things that people think about. Female products. There's people that have cats and dogs out there.
Like
Can't
this
really
is
afford
just
dogs
a
or the cats,
self-stroke.
those are their friends, and many people know their fur babies are their fur babies.
They're just self-stroking. They're not discussing any type of progress that they made. They're just trying to justify wasting their donors' money.
Fur babies, come hell or high water. We literally lined two tables.
Mr. President, this is the toughest question I could possibly ask you. Tell me one good thing Joe Biden has done.
Tables up with food. We got to pray with some of the preachers out there. We got to get some information.
You don't pray,
it was really,
though. But you don't pray. What you do is you make fun of people who pray. Because I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen you sitting behind her, laughing while Molly Golightly sings hallelujah, making fun of people who worship, minimizing worship, minimizing people's faith.
It was really good.
Mocking
I always say this, it feels good to do good. And I felt that we not only were able to get some information, we weren't just able to search for Summer. We were really able to embrace this community that has embraced us.
You know what's funny, dumpster
giving
clips?
back to the community.
Yeah. I have to say,
slightly off the subject because she just made a statement. I don't want to start this whole political thing because it's not the point. But when I was listening to Burnt Toast the other night, I was listening to Burnt Toast, and I was thinking she really reminds me of Candace Owens. Now, Burnt Toast has stated that she doesn't like either Trump or Biden. She's, I'm not commenting based on what her political beliefs are. But what I do like about Candace Owens is that she is very straight to the point and very articulate. And yeah, you're not going to win an argument with her. And I was thinking that because I was thinking that's what Candace Owens, she reminds me of Candace Owens and her methods and how she delivers information. It was fun to watch.
I never had anyone light a fire under my ass more than you and Jonathan.
We don't play, do we?
We really don't. I'm like, holy crap.
We got it. Daylight's burning. We gotta get out here.
I mean, listen, and okay.
Now you know why we're so exhausted and go dark
when
we come back here, because we are balls to the walls when we're out there. We run. And then we always say we'll sleep when we get home. We'll sleep when we get home. We'll get rested when we get home. And nobody understands that until they ride with us, and they have to.
No. You're constantly running only when you are harassing someone. That's it. The only time I saw any hustle was when you were trying to get John fired from his job and you were yelling and screaming outside of his house and disturbing all of his neighbors. That's the only hustle I saw. I saw you hustle for nothing productive at all whatsoever.
They have to take and then they realize I need to rest when I get home. Yep, you better rest up.
Yeah. And I wanted to ask you, because we never even got a chance to, we don't get a chance
Why
to
are these
know
people
each other.
always stuffing their face, bro?
It does, like, Ziggy went out there.
Like, these people are always sticking shit in their face, bro. Like, every second that they're live. Well, if I had to guess, Moonface, how they sleep at night is a mix between pills and lethargy from eating so much. If I had to guess, that's how they sleep at night. Like, look at this. If one of them isn't stuffing their face with garbage, the other one is. They're either putting garbage in their face or spewing it out. These are the most worthless people I've ever seen in my fucking life, bro.
And as we were going, right before we got to Cracker Barrel, our last meal together, she was out there with a local.
Cracker
and
Barrel.
Now they're all picking on her just because she went down there, just like they're doing it to us, because we're embarrassing these other people who want to claim it's their case.
Yeah. First of all,
nobody's claiming that.
They are whoever is reporting them and being on the.
Nobody said anything about it being my case or our case. Nobody ever said anything about that. I've never heard anybody covering the Summer Wells case saying it's my case. Maybe it's because I would never listen to a channel that would say that, because I can't rely on them in spreading information, because their motive behind to take possession over a case is ridiculous. The whole point is to spread information. We're talking about a missing child. I want as many people talking about this as possible, but I want them doing it for the right reasons. What they're doing is exploitation. What they're doing is not quite as bad as actually kidnapping her and selling her off to somebody on the street. What they're doing is not quite as bad, but the essence of it is there behind what they're doing. They are exploiting this child. They are exploiting this child, and in exploiting this child, what they're doing is interfering with an investigation that is this child's only chance of actually being found, of anyone getting any answers as to what happened to her. That's all they're doing.
Being on the armchair doesn't make it your case. Secondly, I like Siggy. I personally like Siggy. She's never done anything wrong to me. I'm very pleased. We started this campaign, and we do a lot of pressure campaigns, as many people know. And it's kind of ironic to see all these people now going down there, and I'm very happy.
They're basically dressing up a pile of shit. They're dressing up a pile of shit, putting decorations all over it by calling harassment a pressure campaign. A pressure campaign.
Happy to have them down there. I'm glad they're finally going out and actually doing their job by looking at this hillside, compound, because I'm so sick of arguing with people as to why it's impossible for this child to be kidnapped off that compound. But when they go up there and see it, everybody says the same thing. Holy crap. Like this really paints the picture for you. Where are you going to park a car? You need to have a getaway car. Where the hell are you parking a car to go snatch a kid?
Yeah.
So all these
In the road, stupid, because there's two trails that lead to the main road. Cracking Cases showed this. Chris McDonough showed it. You can absolutely get on that property. Now, I believe somebody who knows the property is most likely to have been able to do it, but you can absolutely get on that property. There is plenty of footage showing that you can absolutely get on that property. An outsider can. All they have to do, park their car in the road, run up there, and grab the kid. Who's to say Summer wasn't playing behind that school bus and somebody driving by didn't see her and saw a perfect opportunity?
All these things, they transpire, but you don't see the true reality of it until you're there in person. So I'm very pleased to hear that there were some YouTubers that actually did make their way out there, did actually, do the right thing by going out there and putting and saying that they were at least there, that they can now at least when they're talking about stuff, talk about it with knowledge.
Now she's actually referring to Cracking Cases. She's referring to them. Now, what I like about Cracking Cases is they're above this shit. Like, they're not going to come up there and do what I'm doing and do what Crude AF does and do what Burnt Toast does. They stick to nothing but trying to spread information about Summer and actually trying to collect information, credible information, to try to find out what happened to her. So she's referring to Cracking Cases, and the least she could have done is actually mention their name. But what she failed to do, A, was mention their name and give them credit where credit was due, and B, acknowledge what they actually found, which actually contradicts everything that she's saying right now. It disproves what she's saying. So that's why she's not doing that. What she's trying to do is look good. She's trying to make anybody who talks trash about them look like they're taking the high road and saying positive things about other YouTubers. But I don't really care. If I'm being totally honest, I could give a fuck. I don't care. These people merit every single negative thing that has been said about them.
So I'm very pleased with that. This whole thing with bones, we showed bones from Gabby Petito. They were animal bones too. When we were out there in Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park, and I said that many times, they're most likely animal bones because we've already experienced that ourselves. For somebody that hasn't, when we started going out there after the first time, we started saving the animal bone structures on our phone. So when we come across bones, we'll be able to tell if they're human bones.
I wonder if there's any bones out there from her strangling somebody. I wonder, because she's been caught so many times. I can't help but wonder, like, what she didn't get caught doing. What has she actually gotten away with? But that's unlikely. I'm just saying it's unlikely because everything that she did and was charged with was domestic, meaning it happened at home, and the victim was somebody that she lived with. So there's nobody that she's lived with, to my knowledge, that has ever been reported missing. I'm just taking jabs at her for being an asshole. But
bones or animal bones right away. It's sad that you have to do that, but it is what you have to do. And for somebody to attack Ziggy for doing, she could have done worse. She could have been like me. I was out at that Kathleen Moore case and something shiny grabbed my eyes.
Yeah, because the shit you do is just as bad.
And finding out it's
the shit you do is just as bad as what Ziggy did. So
freaking cleaver, And here I'm having to get a DNA test because I came in contact with the murder weapon.
Oh my God.
So she's bragging about it again. Let's listen to that one more time, folks.
Picking it up and finding out it's a freaking cleaver, wrong to me. I'm very pleased. We started this campaign and we do a lot of pressure campaigns, as many people know. And it's kind of ironic. And so I'm very pleased to hear that there were some YouTubers that actually did make their way out our phone. So when we come across bones, we'll be able to tell if they're human bones or animal bones right away. It's sad that you have to do that, but it is what you have to do. And for somebody to attack Ziggy for doing, she could have done worse. She could have been like me. I was out at that Kathleen Moore case and something shiny grabbed my eyes. And before I know it, I'm reaching down there, picking it up and finding out it's a freaking cleaver, And
well, at least she's admitting that it was fucking stupid. At least she's doing that. But yeah, we're talking about, but it's also an example, people, as to why these fools have no business interfering with an investigation. They are so unqualified that they're going to do more damage than good. And she's proving and admitting that she is more likely to do damage than good.
And here I'm having to get a DNA test because I came in contact with the murder weapon.
Oh my God.
At least she stopped and called law enforcement to have them come check it out. It could have been worse. She could have pulled me. So no, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Ziggy, don't cry. These
Okay, no, but what we're talking about, okay, because I'm just gonna keep repeating myself over and over, folks. This is what's gonna end up happening. I'm going to keep repeating myself, okay? What Ziggy is getting backlash for is, first of all, she came down there for clout, not to actually help with an investigation. Because if she actually wanted to help with the investigation, she would have referenced every press conference and every interview, every public statement by law enforcement as to what you can do to help. She would have referenced back all of that stuff. And if she had referenced back to all of those things, she would have heard law enforcement on multiple occasions say, the best thing you could do is let us do our jobs. Do not interfere with this investigation. Do not spread misinformation on the internet. That is all they could have done. That's all she had to do. If she would have referenced back, she would have saw that. So then, on top of that, what she did was She walked all over what could have been a potential crime scene. Now, did she report it? Cool. Yeah, she did. She reported it. But what she's really getting backlash for, also on top of everything that I just named, is posting what she thought to be a child's remains on her channel for content. That's what Ziggy is getting backlash for. It's not a damned if you do, damned if you don't. No, you're not using common sense, bullhorn boob. You're simply not using common sense. This is what you're getting backlash for. So you're sitting here running your mouth and talking and talking and talking and saying, you know, damned if you do, damned if you don't. No, you won't be damned if you do this. Shut the fuck up. Let law enforcement do their job. I'll say that one more time. You won't get backlash from any of us YouTubers or anybody in the public if you shut the fuck up and don't interfere with a law enforcement investigation.
Why give the, and you see me, I don't even feed into it. Like, I won't even respond. Like, people have stupid questions. I don't even respond to them anymore. It's like they'll keep hitting my chat like with 1,000 questions. It's like, you're stupid. I'm not responding anymore. I'm not. Just, I'm going to go with my thing. If you don't like it, take a hike. I don't care. If you don't like it. Like, I even had somebody write me, "This is probably going to be another email that you ignore." And I'm like, let me tell you something. First, you don't talk to me like that. And secondly, now I'm going to wait until I'm done with all these other emails, these other 800 emails before I come back to yours. Right now. I think Ziggy is great. And do you want to know something? Listen, I don't even know exactly where she found those bones, but I know if I was out there and we found whatever she found, I would have been like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And Jonathan Nash would be like, hold on.
Dumpster clips? Let me see. What are you talking about? Oh no. The glare. Did you hear Bullhoof say she wanted to start a boot camp to have teams across the country, but it would be too hard to teach people everything she knows. You're right. You're right. It'll be difficult to find people with common sense and get them to not use any common sense in a mass, on a mass scale. Like, she actually acts like she knows anything about investigating anything. It's hilarious to me. I mean, I don't care about that.
Hold on, calm down, Marissa.
I don't care that creators support other creators. Like, if I can, I super chat the creators that I support. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, if you donate to this and you actually think that they're actually doing any type of investigating or doing any good for this investigation, I think you're stupid. That's what I'll say. I don't think you're a bad person. If you want to support someone and give them money, that's cool. That's your business. Absolutely. But if you're funding this, well, I just think you're dumb. You're not using your brain. That's just my opinion.
Angela would have said this happened to us in Florida, blah, blah, blah. And Olivia would have been like, it's most likely animal bones, blah, blah, blah. I know that's what happened. I would have been like, oh God, oh my God. Because I've always said, I don't want to come across her. And I'm wondering, if with all these searches, where does she possibly?
Okay. So they're searching for Summer Wells, right? They're searching for Summer Wells. They're trying to come off like it's a crime channel, right? But here she is saying, I don't want to come across her. I don't want to find her. Now, but if she meant that in the sense of, I'm hoping that she's alive, then okay. But that's not what she's saying. She's basically saying that it would gross her out. It would freak her out. And because of that, if you're going out and searching for a missing child and you're doing it in a professional manner and you're doing it in a productive manner, you should already be preparing yourself mentally for finding something that's going to be disturbing. Right. Exactly my point, Love Shack Sarah. Exactly my point.
possibly be. But in the end, after my experience, there's no doubt in my mind. And we took you along. We took you along with us in a way. Now remember, we would love to take you with us live on the way as it's all happening, but we can't do that anymore. People are calling the church. People are, what do you call it? So all these hate channels and all these, they're ruining the experience for you.
It's now become to the point where it's a safety
No.
risk. It's a safety risk for people to know
We're
where
actually educating you is what we're doing. We're educating you and telling you to open your eyes, use your eyes to see that these people have wasted your money, that it's not going to anything productive. I don't hate anybody, but I will speak up against this because it's damaging to the case. It's damaging to the investigation. The only reason I'm talking about them is because they are causing damage to the investigation.
where we are. You know, look, people may, like for me, I may dislike somebody, but you don't see me intentionally trying to cause them harm. There are literally people on YouTube that call themselves creators that are intentionally trying to cause me harm, bodily.
I'm not trying to cause you any bodily harm at all. And in fact, I discourage anyone who would. All I want is for people to wake up and see through your bullshit. That's all I want. I don't want to see any physical harm come to any of you. I would like to see you go to jail. Don't get me wrong. I would like to see you go to jail, but no, I don't think that it would be right for you to be harmed, bodily harm, or harassed in any way, shape, or form. No, I do not condone that. I do not agree with that.
Bodily injury and bodily harm. That's taking it too far. That's taking it too far. And for those of you, you know who you are, shame on you. I would never do that to a human being because I value human life. I don't allow a YouTube.
You value human life by strangling your significant other and beating multiple other ones, threatening to kill them and their family, threatening to kill the arresting officer because you're quote unquote connected. You expect us to believe that you would never cause bodily harm to another human being? Really?
Or getting involved in YouTube want me to see harm to you. You know why? Because I'm a human being. I pray for you.
Barely.
But what some of these people are out there doing, they actually wish bodily harm upon me. And they have no clue who I really am. They have no clue because they think I'm out there trying to get clout and clicks and stuff like that. It must be true. It must be true because they've got their followers believing that. It must be true. Not one person has called me on the phone to sit down and talk to me to find out, is it true? At least we have enough balls. When we hear something, we go straight to the horse's mouth.
Okay.
Just saying.
Okay. First of all, as far as your record goes, I went over it on this channel because it's public record. I went over it and I refused to even share your real name. I had my mods redact all of those documents, even though your name's out there, but I had my mods redact those documents. But I went over your record and invited you on my panel to discuss it. I'm not going to call you to confirm whether or not it's true because it's all there and it's public record. Burnt Toast went over all of your documents in a much more thorough manner than I did, but she went over all of your documents, Andra, and she also invited you to discuss it with her. She absolutely did. I heard it with my own ears, and I heard her say, I'm never going to talk about somebody because I believe the same thing. I invite any one of these two to discuss this with me. There's no way that I would ever talk about them and then dodge them and avoid them because I believe in everything that I'm saying. I say these things with conviction because I have proof of it. They avoid speaking to me or other creators like me because they don't want to face the truth. They're afraid of facing the facts and being displayed for who they are. But I would love to have one of them come up here. I would love to have both of them come up here.
Stream live TV from 85 plus channels and save up to 5.
Who I'd really love to come up here is JLR. I'd love to have words with that dude. And he declined. I invited him on Twitter. I tagged him on Twitter and gave a public invite to come on here and talk to me. And he said, no, I'm not going to give you the clicks and views. That's what he said. And I'm like, no, dude, I have way more subscribers than you do. It's going to blow up your channel. You know, I'm willing to allow your channel to get recognition. I'm going to give you a chance to talk to me and prove your case and convince my listeners that what you're doing is kosher.
That whole experience was just so, it needed to be done. And even if it got scary at times, even if we had splinters and Olivia cut her hand, even though we were exhausted, even though we were eating the shittiest, grossest crap food in the world. Let me tell you something. I went to a guest.
You mean like the lobster that you went out to have after you had a burger? Because you worked up such a strong appetite for the finer things after getting Don fired from his job?
I got those little snowballs.
It was better than your steak.
It was better than my steak. They were like, Marissa, you didn't eat steak. I was like, no, I'm good.
Nope. And at the same restaurant.
So she's complaining about, so I promise you, a steak dinner is not cheap. Oh, Annie. Wow, thanks. You don't have to do that. Hi, can't stay, but wanted to do a drive-by, K-by, PS, watch the new intro, and it's so clear. Yeah. Yeah, man. Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it. I hope you have a great night. Yeah, so you spent your donor's money on a steak dinner and you can't even appreciate it. You spent your listeners and subscribers and donors, supporters money on a steak dinner, and then have the nerve to sit up here and talk about how it's the crappiest food. You can't even appreciate it. You choose to complain about it rather than say, well, because of you guys, I was able to get a steak dinner. Thank goodness. I'm grateful for that. Because this is a shitty person who has no sense of gratitude at all. Oh, they've been hitting us all. Art the Clown. Yeah. They've been flagging the hell out of her, but she's just been very vocal about it and fighting for it and trying to create awareness that it's not right. But everybody, I mean, Scott Reich is getting flagged. I'm getting flagged left and right. I've gotten to the point to where I'm not even appealing them. That's where I've gotten to the point where I'm not even appealing them because I personally don't like censoring myself. Because creators like Annie, creators like Josh, creators like Stephanie Harlow, creators like Christina Randall, creators like Kendall Ray, what we're doing, creators like Alex Erickson, what we're doing this for the right reasons. So the algorithm detects words like rape or murder, and then it flags. But see, my whole thing is I'm stupid like that because I don't like to censor myself from saying what something is if my heart behind it is to create awareness and help find a missing child. Create awareness on domestic violence, which you'll also get flagged for saying. You can't say domestic violence. Why not? Why is it a problem? Because again, guys, If there are entire television channels dedicated to covering crime cases like the ID channel, why am I seeing commercials for that if sponsors, if this content, this kind of content is not suitable for sponsors? How does that make sense? So it just boils down to censorship for me. That's what it boils down to. Yeah, I did see that. I did see that.
Restaurant, I got chicken Alfredo. Oh, and I'm telling you, it was so horrible. I figured I'd be safe with chicken Alfredo. It was so horrible, you know. And it's funny because Olivia's like, she got her little soup, and she's like, you know, she always tries. I tell her, Olivia, when you go out and you want something, order what you want, because she's always trying to take my food. But I had already eaten. Food.
Dude, like they're just complaining about food. Like
I brought Dudley a lunch, so I had already
food that the people that they're talking to paid for.
Stuffing my face with a freaking cheeseburger. And so then we go out and I'm like, I'm really not hungry, but I didn't want to not eat because we had such a successful day. It was like one of those things where, you know, don't want to be rude. So anyways, I get this. Well, Olivia looks over and she's like, can I have a piece? And I'm like, here. So she grabs a whole fork of food off the plate. And then she looks over at me. She goes, can I have some more? And I'm just like, you know, I really didn't like it. I didn't care for it. I didn't care for the chicken. I'm like, here, just have the whole thing. And then I look over there when we leave and she pulled all the chicken out of it. It was the worst Alfredo I think I ever had.
So there's an example of Olivia's entitlement that she wants to take food off somebody's plate, food that she can absolutely afford. She's taking food off everyone else's plate when she's got her mom cooking for everybody and washing all the dishes and cleaning up after them.
I don't know. They had to have had the cheapest canned Alfredo in the back part. Like, I think great value. Like Walmart brand Alfredo tasted better than the crap that they had on these noodles. Honestly.
You know, besides the food, we got home safely. That's the best part. And we were able to show you what life out there is like. Whoa. Oh my gosh. Angel P, thank you. Hey,
Dude,
Marissa,
I never
did you all hear much AB about where?
Like, first of all, when it comes to steak, let me explain to you guys about me and steak, okay? I almost never order steak at a restaurant because I just don't trust them to cook it the way that I want it. I don't trust them to season it the way that I want it. I know exactly how I like my steak. So, since I'm the only one who ever makes my steak and it doesn't come out the way that I wanted it to, I have nobody to be upset at than myself. But I always feel grateful for everything that I eat. If I open a bag of chips, I silently acknowledge it and give it gratitude and give gratitude to God or whoever, whatever you believe in, for having something that I get to put in my belly. I always do that. It's kind of my way of saying grace. Because when you think about it, when a Christian genuinely says grace, what they're doing is acknowledging and thanking God for having food in their belly, for having a table to sit at and having food in their belly. That is what they're doing. They're expressing gratitude. I just kind of do it generally because I don't know necessarily what to call God. That's just my personal belief, but I respect everyone's beliefs. But these people are absolutely doing the exact opposite of that, which to me speaks volumes of their character. It speaks absolute volumes of the type of people that they are. They are entitled, shitty people. Like, see, that's the thing, is I would never, ever, I want to be clear about something. I would never cook for these people because I actually love to cook for other people. I've said this many times. I love to cook for other people because there is such a beautiful energy behind feeding someone. There's such a beautiful energy behind feeding someone. And I am going to put so much love into that because I feel grateful that they trust me with this very, very important task in living of being fed. So I'm going to put so much love in it to make sure that it tastes good. But see, I'm seeing the kind of people that are going to look for something wrong in it. They're not going to be grateful. My energy in feeding them, the love that I'm going to put onto it is going to be wasted because they're incapable of feelings of gratitude. They're absolutely incapable of it. So, yeah, I would never cook for these people. Cooking is beautiful music and the guests are listening and enjoying your sound. Exactly. That's a wonderful analogy. That's a wonderful analogy. What's up, Jess Larry?
Where Grandis is while there.
Actually, I've been hearing a lot of talks. You know that there are some people breaking their silence related to what Grandis actually told them. So Grandis has I guess a few older ladies or a few best friends, and some people must have gotten to them and Grandis talked to them and told them a completely different story. Now these are older women, so it's not like I believe that they would intentionally lie or deceive people. You know, I really don't. But painted a completely different story, and a story that's right up the alley we've been discussing.
Yeah, Grandis is skiing away right now. Thank you for the super chat. Grandis, we did very little with Grandis. We talked very little of Grandis. Rosemary Bly, Don Wells with that.
Okay, so I actually live in Tennessee. Ashley Stewart, I live in Tennessee, and I'm really glad that I never ran into them. I had really actually had every bit of a plan to actually meet them and counter protest what they were doing. Rain Song, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I had every intention of doing that. And then all I did was think about it for a second. Because I was like, in my mind, I was picturing the same thing that they were imagining was going to be like, that there was going to be a whole bunch of people around. It was going to be this very public place. There was going to be a whole bunch of people around, and they would actually have some sort of influence over the public that they would be around. And then I thought about it, and then I was like, nobody gives a shit what they have to say. There's not going to be anyone there. If I show up there, then I'm only going to add to their content because they're only there to show off for the people who paid them the money, and they're going to be the only people they're showing a protest to are the people watching them on YouTube. They're not influencing anything. Everyone already knew what they were going out there to do. So all I would have done is gone out there, gotten pissed off, and gotten confrontational with them, and then it would have added to their content. And of course, they would have played victim as though I attacked them in some way. So I was like, at the last minute, I was like, oh man, that is a bad idea. I'm not doing that. No. And plus, it was so cold. It was like the coldest day yet. And I was like, yeah, like I could just make fun of them here. I could just stream them and make fun of them here, which is exactly what I did. Oh, welcome, Rain Song. And hold on. Just Larry, man. Thanks so much for the super sticker, buddy. Right. Exactly, Art the Clown. Exactly. No, Ashley Stewart. I'm just explaining to you. Why I did not meet them. Because I could have talked, think about it. You have me speaking logically on all this and explaining exactly why what they're doing is damaging, but they don't care that it's damaging. They don't have any, they just don't care. So it would have fallen on 4 sets of deaf ears, not just one, 4 sets of deaf ears, not just one. Be real. That's actually not a bad idea. And it's really funny. Just at the quickie stop, we have a chain called Pilot. So it's kind of like a 7-Eleven. And at the Pilot that I just went to buy cigarettes and coffee creamer, on the screen that shows all the lottery numbers and everything like that, they still have the Amber Alert up of Summer Wells. And it made me feel really good that they had that. After all this time, they still had that. Let me see. Cindy, first time sending money to a YouTuber, but this channel is awesome and doing the right thing. Thanks, Cindy. That means a lot, man. That means so much. I appreciate that. Right. That's my point. Odessa. See, they're claiming that they interviewed all kinds of people, but when have we seen any footage of it? The only footage we've seen of them interviewing anybody was when they snuck into when they secretly filmed after law enforcement, after the Hawkins County Sheriff's Department detectives were nice enough to speak to them. They filmed them in secret as they were filming them. I don't know. Let's see. Glare, why didn't MGL husband stand up and tell how much money was brought in for these foolish people to go out and waste it? Well, I mean, I don't think that I like I said, I maybe you didn't catch, maybe you're just now logging on, but I don't think he cares. If I'm being honest, I think he just sees it as an opportunity to stay the hell away from her. If she leaves town and leaves the house, he's probably like, yes, thank God. Go get your treat, Panda. Good girl. I think he's just happy. He's like, it's not my money. I don't care if they're not wasting my money as long as she gets the hell away from me for a while. That's totally what my theory is. A guy with that kind of common sense, married to a woman like this, he's probably really, really, really the kind of guy that truly believes in the sanctity of marriage, that marriage is forever. And he just does whatever he can to cope with being married and stuck with this woman for the rest of his life. I think that's all it is. That's just my personal observation and opinion. I don't know them. I don't know what it's like living with them. I have no idea. I'm just imagining based on what I saw him say and what I see her do every single day. But going back, she has not. They haven't interviewed anybody. They keep talking about how they went around interviewing, and then they take this interview that should have been off the record with law enforcement, with the Hawkins County Sheriff's Department. The Hawkins County Sheriff's Department said simple: what you can do to help is if you hear anything, call 1-800-TBI. They didn't even know about that number at the time. They traveled all the way to Rogersville, Tennessee, and didn't even know to give their listeners 1-800-TBI if they get any credible information on Summer Wells' disappearance and or her whereabouts. Oh, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Be real. Would I say that I'm not a hater? I don't hate anybody. Hate, first of all, is a complete and total waste of my energy. Like, I don't care enough about these people to hate them. I just don't. But I hate what they're doing. I hate that it's interfering with it's inappropriate behavior, but there's a reason why it's inappropriate. I'm passionate about law enforcement being able to work clearly and work well in finding Summer Wells. And this doesn't help. This makes it more difficult for their investigation. So yes, I feel a responsibility as a YouTuber with a platform with over 11,000 subscribers to use the platform responsibly and speak up against this type of behavior, which I've always done. I've done since I had 400 subscribers. I've always done this. When I called her police station to ask him whether they would allow someone to walk out of their station with fake COVID cards, and I mentioned who it was, and they said they were fully aware of her channel. Yeah, of course they were. Of course they were. She's a thorn in their side, man. Yeah. I mean, like, these are reasons why Ziggy's getting backlash. It's not a damned if you do or damned if you don't type situation the way that Bullhorn Boob over here is trying to make it out to be. It's just not.
That conversation that never happened. I'm being accused while you were all sleeping for staging a.
Trust me, we were all sleeping, but she got her asses up, and yes, she did have a conversation with Don, and yes, it was recorded. We've opted not to release that recording. The recording's going straight to law enforcement.
All right,
it will be released at a later date. I mean, it will be, and I can confirm that it did actually happen. We had GoPro. Yeah, the GoPro, my phone, Jonathan's phone, and Lydia.
And
recording.
911 was listening. Thank you, Danny.
Yeah, and law enforcement came to the house twice while we were recording. Twice, not once.
An hour and a half. It was an hour and a half. You said, fucking prove it.
An hour and a half of what? Of you harassing someone?
Oh my God, thank you, Matthew, for the cash out.
Like, they're always eating.
Well, we do appreciate
They're always eating.
YouTubers support and, calling the law because they were really truly concerned about you. The first round of law enforcement came because Olivia called them whenever you were screaming.
Mm-hmm.
The second one came from YouTubers, and that was enough. It freaked us out. And quite frankly, that's when we realized, you know what? Everybody has the address here. We're sitting ducks. The mission is over. Yeah. We were literally going to be leaving at 3 a.m. in the morning to start heading back. It was midnight. And we just opted. There's no point in spending $120 something or $130 on a room to stay 3 hours in. So we opted just to go ahead and drive back. We got back to it. Can you believe I still have not unpacked my bag? It's still sitting.
Neither am I.
It's still sitting in the living room. I plan on doing it later today now that I'm finally
back to life. I know. My husband.
Of course, I have the other drama that's going on here that I just need to.
Yeah, and that's no one's your business. Your business. I'm glad that you. I'm
this
glad
is
that we
the
all
biggest
made
farce ever.
To release that directly to TBI.
Yeah.
For things that were said, things that were very shocking, and Don needs to realize that we mean business. And he's not going to intimidate me by showing me old ass pictures of what this house looked like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And he's coming here. Don't do that.
Oh, he's starting to come there.
Trying to intimidate me. Listen,
like,
I'm on that little baby side.
I mean, gross,
I'm not
bro.
Gonna lie. Oh, by the way, what did we offer?
Why does she think that we want to hear her smacking her food?
You want me to bring food? We've offered them food, money, booze. We never offered sexual favors.
Oh, good job.
So that's
whoever said that.
First of all, we found out.
Whoever said that they offered sexual favors, and who in their right mind would actually believe that anybody would actually see that as some sort of negotiation, with some sort of valuable bargaining chip? Like, if they offered me sexual favors, I'd take it as a threat. Either one of them. I would take it as some sort of threat. I wouldn't be like, let me think about that. I'd be like, how can I get them arrested for that? Gross.
Found out that Candace, from his own mouth, that she does not even take showers. There is no way in hell that I would even screw him with a plastic doll hoo-hoo, much less my own.
He said that. I never told her. He goes, Candace.
It almost made me want to puke in my mouth.
We wanted to puke because he said, because I work in drywall, I got to take. He goes, I have to take a shower. So I would take all the kids in there and one by one release them. He goes, Candace never takes showers. I'm like, what? Goes,
and then we even asked him, like, is it a locked? You must have a really big shower.
This
to have 3 boys.
This is their content here, people. Again, so far, we've heard nothing from them. I mean, they're the ones talking. So far, we've heard nothing from them that indicates that they did anything productive while they were out there. All they're doing is trash talking Don and Candace. That's all they're doing. Just gossiping. That's all they're doing.
A little girl and him in the shower. And what would be the need, especially for the older boys, for them all to be in the shower together? Like, you would think that they would. Does he go out there and turn the water on and then turn the water off? I mean, this stuff doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Why can't the boys go and take a shower whenever the hell they want to take a shower? I don't understand that.
I mean, I
never had to be told when.
Now,
or where I can take a shower. If I wanted to go,
Some people who have issues with money, people who have to conserve, right? And you live on a property, well, you get something called a water bill. So when you have kids in your house, multiple kids in your house, that's the reason why you don't just let them take showers whenever the hell they want to take showers, because they'll waste water. Because it's your job to go out there and bust your ass to put food on the table and water in the pipes. So, yeah, that's why some parents don't just let their kids take a shower whenever the hell they want. Because water bills cost money. Now, since she lives with her mom, allegedly, she probably doesn't know anything about that.
so if I wanted to go swimming and my parents weren't home and I wanted to go up and take a shower, I would take a shower. Why? I would never be in the shower with my mom or my dad.
I don't remember being in the shower with my mom or my dad, but
you know, as a little girl, that was different. You know,
yeah.
I mean, whatever parent was home,
They're teaching you to feel safe in the shower. That's what I tried to do with Jake, but I think.
I mean, there's a big age difference between the oldest son and the youngest girl. Why does she need to be seeing all these men's?
I know,
boys' junk at such a young age. Why does she need to be exposed to that? Like, I don't get it.
It was too much. It was too much. That's why I was like, I can't with these people. I can't.
And I'm telling you guys, that's exactly what he said. And when she asked him, she was joking around. She goes, "You must have a really big shower." And he's jokingly back and saying, "No, actually, it's kind of small." I'm thinking,
I don't know. It was
a little creepy, but I believed him.
I believe him too. And he is just like, come on, you ruined my life. And I did ask him, "Are you moving?" Because they keep saying, "Oh, they're gonna move. They're gonna move." She wants to move.
They don't have the money.
Where the hell are we gonna go?
They have no money to move. That's what he pretty much said. Isn't that what he said? They don't have the money to move, or where they would
Right.
go.
Which is why water bills are an issue and a concern. Stupid.
To that effect,
I know that he said that he wanted to move to Jackson Hole.
We were. Let me tell you guys something.
Like they
we were just in Jackson Hole when we were following the Gavin Tito, Kylan Schulte,
judging the hell out of
we were in
it.
Jackson Hole.
They're sitting there on a high horse, judging the hell out of these people. Just judging the hell out of them. They don't even know them. Like, just judging the hell out of them and their lifestyle and how they raise their kids. And, you know, I mean, didn't she do like a 7-hour live yesterday? Didn't Molly Golightly do like a 7-hour live yesterday? First of all, Bullhorn Boob Strangler has no business telling anybody how to raise kids because she doesn't have any kids. She's not a parent. So she has no business doing that, right? But Molly Golightly has a kid. So why is she criticizing people? Because what I'm seeing is she's either live or she's out of town. So why is she criticizing anybody? And I'm not saying that makes her a bad parent. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying, how ironic is it if she's criticizing other parents when I don't see where she even has time to spend with her own kid? You know what I mean? I'm just saying she's living in a glass house. You know, I mean, I'm saying I don't know what her reasons are for that. Maybe her kid is self-sufficient. Great. Maybe the kid spends a lot more time with dad. Great. That's cool. I'm not criticizing her for that. But I'm criticizing her for judging others when she doesn't know them or what their situation actually is. She doesn't get to do that. If I have enough common sense to sit here and go, I don't know what Molly's situation is. I don't know what her reasons are for hardly spending any time with her own child. It doesn't make her a bad parent necessarily because I don't know the situation. I don't understand it. I'm not there. I don't know. I don't know her. You know what I'm saying? So why does she get to do that to other people?
Hole because past Jackson Hole into the Grand Tetons is where Gabby Petito's body was found. And we went out there, and I can tell you one of the most expensive places that we were at on our whole entire trip was Jackson Hole, Wyoming. There is no way in hell that they can afford to live there. I'm telling you. $4.65 a gallon gas. Nope.
Yeah. It's just like the airport. I bought a slice of pizza at the airport in North Carolina.
Again, no way in hell that they can afford to live there. So taking jabs at their class, as far as income goes, taking jabs at that, judging them based on it. But here's the thing. How do you know that tomorrow, right, Don Wells doesn't just wake up and decide to clean himself up, completely clean up his situation? How do we know that Don Wells is not going to do that at some point very soon and then find a kick-ass contracting job in that area and actually make enough money? How do we know Candace won't do the same thing?
North Carolina, no drink. $7.88 for one slice of pizza. I said, oh my God. That's like what it's like in Bermuda.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Let's get at it. Did they stink? We didn't get close enough. I got close enough to see if he smelled, but we were outside. And trust me, I wasn't trying to. That picture of me and Don Wells with the cops in back of us, that was the greatest photo I've ever taken. But this photo was not the greatest photo in the world.
But when I
This
look
is not
back,
the best. That would the other one was.
he still looked cleaner than Candace did.
Yes, I agree with that. He looked cleaner and more well put together. He seemed focused. He did not seem like he was on drugs or anything. It is emotionally draining. Thank you, Angel P. You're so sweet. Take care of you, girl. Much love from GM. Aww. George Michael. She's a George Michael fan. Thank you. See, it's crazy how I could get people interesting. I got people in the chat that found me because of Nick Carter and George Michael.
Yeah.
And they come on from all these things and they start getting interested. You know, and oh, episode 1 of Dudley is out. Yes, we just put that out.
Yeah.
Yes, I will not be playing anybody else's videos. That's hers. And
All right. I've had about as much of that as I can take. Yeah. So, guys, I'm going to go ahead and call it. I really appreciate everybody joining me tonight. I'm going to try to do more live streams like this early. Normally, I do them like the earliest, like 9 p.m. Eastern. The earliest is usually how I do them. But I mean, I'll go live whenever I feel like going live. That's the cool thing about being able to do this. But for everybody who joined, as members, anybody who joined Patreon, anybody who super chatted and showed support, I am so grateful to you. Thank you so much. It's crazy to me that I'm not a very educated guy, and so the fact that people actually seem to give a shit about what I have to say is pretty moving. So I refuse to take it for granted even for just a second. So I really, really appreciate you guys. Oh, look, Erin's here. EKC people suck. Subscribe to her. She's awesome. She has kick-ass content. She does great content on calling out BS. So yeah, so all of you guys that became members, I mean, it's crazy to me. Everybody who just subscribes is you guys are awesome. So because I know there's a lot of educated, smart people in here that and for you guys to have some sort of appreciation for my opinions and the things that I have to say, I can't express that enough of how grateful I am to you for that. So I'm just going to keep doing the best I can for you. Just Larry, you're lucky. Erin's your neighbor. You're lucky. Erin's a hottie. Erin's super sexy. But yeah, so it's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. But I absolutely love every single one of you guys, seriously. Having this new computer, it was donated to me by a supporter. So I'm going to do everything that I possibly can to give you guys better content, even though you don't seem to have any complaints with the content that I have now. It's already improved as far as it's not choppy anymore. So I just needed something a bit faster. I got something faster. But I also am going to start messing around with editing. I've never known how to edit. So I'm, and I got a lot of time. And so I'm going to I'm going to take your support, and I'm going to do the best I can with it to give you guys the best possible content. So I really, really appreciate you guys. Right on. Happy for life. Thank you. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And guys, I mean, the reason why I'm talking about this is because I really do care about summer. And the reason why what I'm explaining is we don't have any new information on Summer's disappearance. We don't have any new information. I've already gone over every relevant fact in this case. I've already done it, and we haven't had any relevant facts emerge in quite some time. But I care about this investigation. So me talking about these other channels and doing what they're doing, it's important for me, to create awareness as to why it's irresponsible and why it's wrong. We need to be in support of law enforcement and not just saying, cliche bullshit like we back the blue. Well, actually back the blue, man. If you're going to actually back the blue, then do it. What you do is you follow their lead. If you actually support law enforcement, well, then you know that they are the only chance of Summer actually being found. They are the best possible chance of anyone getting any answers as to what happened to Summer. So if you actually back the blue, then support them and do what they say. Follow their lead. Take their advice. They're not trying to hide anything from you and screw you over from any information. That's not what they're doing. They have to keep their information secret because they don't want any potential suspects to know everything that they know. They don't want to spook anyone off. It's important that we don't know the details of their investigation. There's a reason why they say in a press conference, I'm not going to say anything regarding that because that would tell too much of our investigation. I'm not going to say anything that might impede our investigation. That's what they say. There's a reason behind them saying that. It's because it's the best thing for Summer. It is the best chance that she has. So yeah. If you back the blue, then actually back the blue. Don't just say it and then do the exact opposite of what they're asking of you. All right. Thoughts and prayers for Molly Golightly's husband. Big shout out to you, dude. I don't know how you do it, brother, but big shout out, man. Anyways, guys, I love you guys very much. Thank you guys so much. And we will do this again very soon, my friend.